Welcome everybody to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show that is for Panther fans by Panther fans. If you would like to be a part of the discussion today, you can do so. I have posted the link to join in the chat room. Be a part of the conversation. Hey man, well, we don't even have a bunch of people in here right now, man. It's just me and my boy. Panther Pickle. We can carry the show if we have to.
But, That's a fact. I tell you,
man.
they must be all celebrating Falcons or the Saints. Saying a lot of these. Come on, Panther fans. What the hell?
Fans. Well, hey man, listen.
I got enough energy for everybody.
Tonight's show is about what you want to talk about. We're going to talk about the combine. We're going to talk about what positions are becoming more and more important as we go through these drills of linebackers that now everyone's talking about. The tight ends are coming up here in a minute. Man, what positions are Panther fans thirsty for this combine season the most? We're going to talk about that, man. So, like I said, if you want to join the show, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. So let's just jump into this, man. The combine is going on right now. The linebackers ran yesterday, and there is a linebacker out of NC State that everyone is comparing to Luke Kuechly, and his name is Peyton Wilson. He's a linebacker out of North Carolina State, and it really has Panther fans buzzing about not only the potential of this dude, but Panther Pickle of even drafting that linebacker position at the 33rd pick. What do you think are the chances of that? And what do you think about Peyton Wilson?
I like Payton Wilson quite a bit. I really didn't know a lot about him. Cole talks about him a lot. And I kind of Googled him and looked him up a little bit. And he's been injured some in his college career. But he's really intelligent. I know that I read and heard that him and Luke Kuechly actually sat down last year and had a film session. Luke had a film session with him, show him how he reads film. So I'm sure that was very helpful. That's very encouraging. I like him quite a bit.
It seems like every year there's a linebacker that Luke Kuechly is like taking under his wing. And it feels like Peyton is that guy right now. But to everyone in the chat room and to you, Pickle, just again, what are the chances that the Panthers do feel that BPA is the most important position to draft with that 33rd pick? Is linebacker best player available? And how important is that piece to our team right now?
I think it's very much important, very much a need. I said it on Spaces the other day. I don't recall of any need that or any position we draft at 33 that I would be upset at. I'm sure they're out there, punter, kicker, long snapper, but other quarterback. But other than that, I don't think that you draft a position there. We talked about it the other day. There's a lot of centers out there. Some of the best centers in this draft may be available. That you got, of course, you've got wide receiver. We've talked about that. You got linebacker. Linebacker is a position that if you draft, it gets more important as the years of the time goes on. If for some reason you don't get Frankie Louvu signed, then you have to worry a lot about your inside linebacker position. Then, of course, you also have Shaq Thompson. This coming year, unless they do it now, he's be his last year under contract. So, it's highly possible we desperately need a linebacker. But he's got the speed and the intelligence to go right along with it.
Yeah, and he's number 11 here on the film at linebacker.
His combine numbers are almost identical to Luke Kuechly's.
And he's a little bit faster than Luke.
He is a little faster.
Yeah, Luke.
Are you going to introduce me or what? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, on my own time. Who's the host here? Is he such a
It's about damn time you guys showed up. What the hell, dude?
boy? White chocolate espresso. He finally, or his girlfriend decided he could have enough time tonight to come in and chill with the boys. Hey, it's a good thing. Happy to hear it. Kev, what's up, dude?
Yo, what's happening?
Chilling. We're talking about the chances that the Panthers draft a linebacker at 33, and could it indeed be Peyton Wilson, who's made a splash yesterday? And also, did Peyton kind of perform his way into a first-round performance? Like, I know right now the dude, the linebacker from Texas A&M and from Alabama are very highly spoken of.
Mm-hmm.
I think this guy fasting one of the faster risers of the combine so far.
Well, I know if we do draft a linebacker, it ain't going to be that Clemson linebacker because we don't draft Clemson players. But, yeah, I mean, it could be it.
I didn't miss you on here at all.
There's actually a Clemson corner that I like pretty well.
Yeah,
He
Nate
got hurt.
Wiggins. He ran a 4.29.
Yeah, but that don't matter. But he'll be, he'll be good before camp anyway. But hey, the way the Panthers do, if he's hurt, we draft him. You know that's how it works.
Maybe so. But man, when you watch the clips of Peyton Wilson and see what he does and how he plays, dude, it's hard not to want a player of that caliber on the Panthers again.
You're right. Well, and that's what's something we've needed since we lost Luke, is an intelligent linebacker in the middle. Shaq's okay, but Shaq's is just that. Shaq's okay. Shaq's not.
He's old. He's a relic from a bygone era at this point, Pickle.
I know it. Yeah, I know it. But us relics has just got to stick together sometimes. But I'm good when we move on.
That's funny.
There's even a running back I like really well.
What's his name?
Who's running back?
He's from Washington, and he's 245 pounds. I'll tell you his name in just a second. I gotta go find him.
Kev, do you actually have a meaningful answer as to if the Panthers would draft a linebacker, or do you just is the only thing you can do is shit on Clemson players?
Braylon Allen, that's his name.
Braylon Allen?
Yep, he's 6'2".
What was that, Cody? You were breaking up.
And 245 pounds.
Derrick. No, I'm saying, what would the Panthers draft a linebacker with their 33rd pick?
I think they would. I mean, there's going to be a need, especially if Brian Burns gone, because we drop him off in coverage, right?
Yeah.
And you got Shaq and Burns, and Luvu, like all those three are unknowns right now.
Yeah, and those are some pretty big unknowns too. We've heard rumors that
I don't have an answer for that.
What?
How many injuries did Luke have coming into the NFL? I don't know.
I don't remember there being very many. I don't think that was a problem for him.
Yeah. I think mostly it was
has this
speed, I think it was his biggest
has this Peyton Wilson dude had has he had a lot of injuries?
He's had some, but I don't recall that it was. I mean, Cole can answer that more than I could. I'd have to look it up. But I don't think he was overloaded with injuries. I just think that I know he's had some injuries, but that's not saying that.
If you ask my friends, they swear that Luke Kuechly had cancer in Boston College. I'm pretty sure that was another middle linebacker.
What?
Remember that Boston College middle linebacker? He had cancer? Yeah. Well, there was a Boston College linebacker that had cancer, and my friends swear it was Luke Kuechly. I'm like, no, dude, it's not Luke Kuechly.
Dude, I think if Luke had cancer at some point in time, we would have heard that by now. Dude,
it was another linebacker, but
there's no way.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, Pickle might know because it was before your time, probably. You remember that?
Damn, he said you're old as fuck, Pickle.
I mean, it was in the early around his time, around Luke's time.
Yeah, what was it? Who was it?
I can't remember the guy's name. He had cancer and he came back and he played. And he was like an All-American next year.
Yeah.
My friends all swore
his name was.
I don't remember his name.
No, your friend. His name was Mark Herzlich. Herzlich or something. Yeah. He's still alive.
Good for him.
He's not dead. So, yeah, good for him.
Did he ever get drafted?
Happy ending.
Did he get drafted?
I believe so. Yes, I think. Wait.
Okay, it says it's great to see Wilson put on a show at the combine, especially considering his versatility. He's overcome with 2 torn ACLs and a serious shoulder injury throughout his college career. The medical evaluations will be critical for him.
Oh, you talking about Michael Penix?
No, we're talking about Peyton Wilson, linebacker
from NC State.
Oh, that motherfucker. Oh,
ran a 4.4 at the combine. By the way, welcome my boy JJ to the building, to the C3 Friday Free for All. JJ, what's up?
Evaluating some prospects today. A few of them.
Hell yeah, dog. And we're pretty much talking about...
here's some news. Here's some news.
What's up?
Shout out Anthony for sharing this to the chat. According to Diana Rossini, wide receiver Mike Evans plans to hit free agency for the first time in his career. Per sources, Evans and Tampa are in discussions, but he wants to explore this option. It doesn't mean the Ravens' time with the Bucs is over. He just wants to hear from other teams before he makes his decision.
I mean, that's not really news, but I guess it could be news.
Well, I mean, last time we had heard.
Yeah. No, that's true. And a lot of people have not given up hope that we are going to be one of the landings or a landing spot for Mike Evans. I know Kev isn't. I don't know about JJ, but
what
if this is a realistic landing spot for Mike Evans?
Oh no,
I don't think so. I think it
you
is.
Find somewhere with a better quarterback and more money.
You would think.
I think.
You would think it's not until it is.
Yeah.
So I look at it like that. You would think until.
Yeah, if he was to come here, I would be really surprised. I'll just say that.
Yep. So JJ, what position do you think the Panthers are going to be drafting at 33? And do you think linebacker is one of them?
Best player available. But to be honest, when it comes to middle linebacker, I think I would just rather build up the D line or add a corner, man. I think I'm tired of just waiting if JC Horn's gonna, finally click in and lock in that year for him where he stays healthy. I'd rather get a Nate Wiggins at 33 and try and pair those two together, see what they could do together with down low,
If Nate Wiggins could end up being the first Clemson player drafted, that would be the dream, man. By the way, Nate Wiggins, who ended up running a 4.29 at the combine, said that he was formally met with the Panthers. He loves Ejiro Rivero's system and how it would allow him to play up close, man to man. Oh, my blood's boiling now. I love that.
So that's good. That is good.
Mm-hmm.
Just shout out Sheena Quick, who says she got herself into some BS. So tomorrow at noon, she's running the 40 time with Paul Kilber, who's
I'm sure everyone
who's a head of talent and playmaker sports.
And so I'm gonna name off some of these names too, and you just tell me what players here we're kind of interested in that the Panthers have met with. And by the way, this is the free for all, baby. If y'all got something y'all want to talk about, this is the place to do it. So if y'all got something, bring it to me. But wide receiver Malik Washington from University of Virginia. He has met with the Carolina Panthers. He's met with a few different people, and he's met with us a few different times. Wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr., who has been gaining a ton of traction, has met with the Panthers. So, I mean, listen, it's kind of obvious that we're looking at wide receiver, we're looking at linebacker, and we're looking at corner. And personally, I'm not mad with any of those. Lad McConkey, oh shit, don't tell Tony. Have any of these names jumped out to you guys so far?
No, I've heard of some of them. But I don't really jump. We really need to be looking at some linebackers or some not linebackers, some centers.
This big boy too, I wouldn't mind him, man.
Oh,
probably going to be more of
I absolutely love the big defensive tackle, nose tackle out of Texas. He ran this 40 time a day, and for a big man like that, he's athletic.
He got real moves.
Yeah,
I put this dude in the thumbnail, Brandon Fisk. He blew up the combine. Very physically dominant. But again, they have him as an interior rusher, so I don't even know if he's the type of player that would fit next to Derrick Brown.
T'Vondre Sweet. Big old boy. He's 6'4", 366 pounds. 40 time was 5.27. Yeah. He's a nose tackle. Him up at nose, 366 and nose. He's stout.
He got a little more
than pocket. He's projected to be as good as the Bucs' big defensive tackle, nose tackle.
The new one that they picked up or Fletcher Cox?
No, the Bucs, the Tampa Bay Bucs. The Vita Vea. Yeah.
Oh, Vita Vea.
Yeah.
Okay. Edge Braden Trice has met with the Panthers out of Washington. I do remember that dude. And Xavier. Okay, so as a Clemson fan, Xavier Thomas, that guy right there. Once upon a time, him and Trevor Lawrence were a part of the same high school class. And Xavier Thomas was like the highest touted defensive end of the country, or one of. And he's battled through a ton of injuries, man. Dude, he has to be like 24, 25 years old now, man.
Oh, wow.
But he's a physical presence, man.
Yeah, basically, though, he's I mean, by the time he gets done with his rookie contract, he's going to be near 30. Which, I mean, it's all right, I guess.
But he's older.
Right.
He's already in that man strength portion of his career. So I wouldn't be mad at it if he was the later round type of guy. Xavier Legette. Oh, of course, Kev's dumbass drops out.
Yep, Xavier Legette. He might be our pick if he's available, if he's there.
JJ, what do you think about wide receiver at 33?
I'm good with wide receiver too, but honestly, I like Legette, but I think there's a few other guys that, man, they might just be a number one once they get to the league right away. That might be a little more polished than Legette out the gate that we need.
Anyone in particular?
I think
it's so hard, man. There's so many good wide receiver talents in the draft this year, though.
Exactly. I was about to say Mitchell and Franklin were some good ones, but they weren't even.
Adonai Mitchell.
Who
Franklin, he may be available when we pick Troy Franklin.
Who's that other guy? Oh,
you think so? Out of Oregon?
Yeah.
Why'd you say that?
And most of the Moxie's available.
Cody, who's the guy that plays next to Malik Washington? The wide receiver.
At
LSU? It's like
Yeah,
Braxton something Jr.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you go.
Yeah,
Cody.
we've met with him too.
Yeah, he's
What
a
do you
dog.
like about him?
I think he's 6'4". Same with Keon Coleman. He's 6'4". That's who it was. Keon Coleman was the name I was thinking of, but couldn't name. A super athletic playmaker like that. Keon Coleman, who could just go up and snag Bryce's passes sometimes. He's so athletic and make a play out of nothing sometimes. I think Keon Coleman's a special playmaker we need. We need that kind of player who's just has a superpower, should I say. They're just so good at what they do on the field.
Like G Baby would say, we need an alien.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need an alien.
A game changer.
Hey, man, let me welcome real quick. Let me welcome my man, Jay the Snake, FU2 to the free for all. Jay, what up, baby?
What's up, y'all?
What's up, Jay?
Hey, man, you're an LSU fan, right, Jake?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Brian Thomas Jr., man.
I mean, he's good. I'm an LSU fan, but I'm scared. I'm just scared, bro, to draft another LSU Tiger after Marshall.
Yeah, dude, I'm happy that you said that because when I think of big body wide receiver from LSU, tall, dude, I think we already did that, man. Like we literally just did that with Terrace Marshall Jr.
Yeah, that's why I don't trust Kenya Coleman. I'm sorry, I don't trust anybody from Florida State. I'm done with that. I mean, I don't.
Is he the tight end wide receiver?
No, he's a wide receiver.
He's
6'4".
Coleman, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't trust him. So
Johnny Wilson's that 6'7" wide receiver who needs to play tight end or something because he got some poor hands.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, I'm not gonna lie though, bro. Pickles got me convinced that defensive tackle from Texas.
that's the man right there, boys.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Tell me his name one more time.
His last name's Sweat, ain't it? Ain't it Sweat?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his first. I think Tavion Sweat. I could be. I'm bad about first names, dude. I'm really bad.
It's Tavion Sweat.
Well, tell me his name, and I'm gonna pull him up on Twitter. I'm gonna find some videos.
All right. It's
And by the way, everybody can do the same thing. If there's a player y'all want us to look at, I'll try and find some footage of them, and we'll bring them up. I mean, hey, this is that time, man. We're speculating as to what positions the Panthers are going to be looking to target, man. We have one of the more interesting picks in the draft. I know we don't have a first rounder, but
I'll put it in the chat, Cody.
Okay. We don't have a first rounder, but man, we control a lot of destiny, man. The best player that slips out of the first round, we're gonna be there to swoop him up. T'Vondre Sweat.
And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I think Peyton Wilson just made his stock go to the first round.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple players that got hurt during this combine. The Kool-Aid, the corner from Alabama, some of these guys, they may drop out of the first. If they're projected in one round and they got hurt, they may drop out. I think Sweat or Kool-Aid, I think he'll drop out of the first round.
So just to show y'all a little bit of what Pickle was talking about, at 366 pounds, he ran a 5.27 40-yard dash. Homeboy was moving. Get up. Oh, fast as hell. Dude, big boy was moving.
Yeah.
So
would you want to be on the bottom of the pile from that? I wouldn't.
Well, I look at it this way. Imagine that guy lined up at nose. Then I imagine Derrick Brown walking up next to him. What it's like. I don't weigh that much. I don't weigh as much as he does, and I couldn't jump like that. Of course, he got that athletic build. I got this table built.
He said, I got that table built. You got that ice cream built, Pickle. Same as me.
You're right. You're right.
Ice cream bill.
Now you put ice cream up there. I bet y'all jump up and get it.
I bet you would, Pickle.
They need to do at the top of that. They need to put a Twinkie up there, and whoever jumps high enough gets that damn Twinkie. I'd encourage some of them fat boys to jump higher.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find some film of him.
Yeah.
He's a
Fisk
monster.
had a good run, but I think Fisk is more of the out. I don't think he's an inside tackle. I think he's pretty much a 3-4 end,
More of an
in
edge.
in a 3-4. Yeah, he's the end out there. You know, he can line up on the end opposite Brown.
And I think that's what we've been looking for. We've been looking for someone to complement
Yeah,
Derrick Brown for a long time, and we just straight up haven't been able to find him yet. And again, so you're going to have Derrick Brown playing more of a 5-tech DN because you're going to have 3-4 outside linebackers rushing your edges and protecting your edges. So I think we're also going to see a lot of outside linebacker consideration, even at 33. I don't know if there's someone valued around that area. Maybe in the latter half of the first round, start of the second, but I have to think that would be on the table as well.
right.
I'm trying to find some more. Y'all talk about some more players.
Oh yeah, we all dead today. Good God Almighty! I think
I'm
we've
trying
been
to find.
up 5 hours.
Okay, hang on. This is. I think I got a clip that I can show.
Hey, I heard that corner from Clemson, your boy, what's his name? That corner that y'all was talking about earlier.
Nate Wiggins.
Yeah,
I heard that he had a pop.
Yeah, he heard. Yeah, he did, but he should. They said he left the workout with an injury, but he said he should be up and going before camp.
That's good. Hopefully, it wasn't that serious. I like him too.
They said the same thing about Kool-Aid. So
Dude,
Kool-Aid
Nate Wiggins. So I'm just saying, everyone's talking up Xavier Legette, but let me tell you, man, Nate Wiggins shut him down when Clemson played South Carolina. So I'm just saying, man, that
Wiggins.
How tall is he? 6'2"?
He suffered a hip flexor injury.
I agree, JJ. Nate Wiggins better than Kool-Aid. Oh shit. Wait, what kind of injury he suffered, Pickle?
A hip flexor injury.
Oh, apparently those aren't terrible, right?
No. They said he'll be ready before training camp.
Yeah.
He may be ready before the pro day.
But maybe that injury made him go to 33. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if that's the case, then I'm all right for picking him up. He's only 20 years old. You can sign him to a 10-year contract. Well, you can't really. You could.
I mean, you're not wrong. They're young enough to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But I also think of the benefit of, being able to move on from Dante Jackson, who would end up being like $15 million.
Yeah, and that dude's 6'2" and 285.
I'm ready for another real outside corner, man.
Yeah, and he'd be an insurance policy too.
Right.
Yeah, but dude, imagine if we had 2 shutdown corners, and Nate Wiggins and JC Horn. If JC was ever able to stay healthy, why not?
Yep.
Oh, I'd do it. Don't get me wrong. If Nate Wiggins is at 33, that's who I'd go with probably, depending on who's all on the board.
You got to like what Dave Canales said. Dave Canales said, I think it was this week, maybe I think it was this week, and he spoke at the presser. He said, he spoke with Sheena Quick, I think, or Vashti. He said that he doesn't have any prior allegiance to anybody on this roster. So it's basically players, you're going to shape up. You're going to show up like you fight for your job because you actually are. and I do like that. I do like that when I'm having some camera issues here, so I like that when a head coach holds players accountable, even because I agree with him. Everybody at each year at camp, you should show up and fight like your job's on the line. Steve Smith did it. Luke Kuechly did it. The older players do it. There ain't no use why these young bucks can't do it. That's why I'm anti Brian Burns. That boy, when the going got tough, he got going out the damn door.
He gave
Fuck
up.
that son of a bitch.
Yeah, I understand, man. I'm looking at some of these Brian Thomas clips, bro. I'm seeing a lot of Terrace Marshall Jr. I'm not gonna lie, man, because he's big, he's strong, but if you look at his highlights, I just don't know if he's able to do that on the next level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he can go up and get the ball, though, man. I'm not.
That's what I was saying earlier, though, man. We gotta be careful evaluating some of these wide receivers, man, because some of them could be pretenders, man. I'm telling you, they might look good on tape, but that don't mean they're gonna be good.
You're right. I believe. I keep interrupting people, dude. I'm sorry. I agree with you. I believe there's going to be players get past us with a 33 pick, and people are going to scream, "Oh, they're first round talent. They're first round," and then in the end, they ain't going to be.
So let me show y'all.
Well, show us. We ready?
So I mean, again, long, strong, good ball skills. He can reach up and go get the ball. He can, again, those contested situations. Yeah. That's what you want. Bryce needs someone that he can comfortably throw the ball to in these types of downs and scenarios.
Now, who is that?
This is Brian Thomas Jr.
Well, what round is he projected to go in? Do we know? I can find
that. I'm not certain.
Okay.
See, moves like that, though, that's what scares me. That yards after contact, like,
yeah.
Isn't that what Mingo was supposed to do? Like, Mingo also kind of soured me on this type of a prospect.
Yeah. Now, as long as they can play on the outside. If you out there and give me another slot, I'm gonna turn into ugly man. He's a mid-first round pick.
You see the potential, though. And again, it's also like, just because Terrace Marshall Jr. didn't live up to it.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
Yeah, but that's the issue, though. And last year when we was watching clips of all these other receivers, we said you can see potential. You can see potential in everything, but I'm tired of going by potential. I want to see action.
Talent, pure talent, pure raw talent.
I want to see production. I want to see production. It's like it's like you show up to work every day, and your boss tells you you're doing a great job. One of these days we're gonna give you a paycheck. You're doing a terrific job. After 15 years, you say, "Listen, motherfucker, I'm tired of that shit. Put up or shut up." So you turn around and shut up.
Hey, by the way, if anyone wants to join the show, there's a ton of space, man. Join the conversation. I posted the link to join at the top of the YouTube chat. So this is my boy Nate Wiggins, DB. He's a corner. Imagine having a player like this next to JC Horn. Ran a 4.29, y'all.
Nate Wiggins.
And it sort of pulled up a little bit at the end right there. But he's long, strong, he's tall. Bro, Nate Wiggins, I feel like this is starting to pick up steam. I mean, obviously, I'm a Clemson fan. Maybe I'm a little biased. But the idea of having a shutdown corner like that. Now, is it going to be available at 33? I don't know. Probably not. But that's something I would love to have.
I'll be right back, y'all.
Bye. I booed himself. Yep, he might be, and it's what I was saying the other day. There's hardly anybody. If you go by position of, you'll see so many guys there that we could take. There's an Oregon center, 334 pounds. I said that's odd to see a center that big, but you read up
334 pounds.
Yeah, center. So, and you read up about him, and he's a really good center. He's literally the best in the league, and there's so much talent with the wide receivers and the corners and stuff in this year draft. You have a feel that a center may be there at 33. Because centers is often the forgotten part. So many people want a guard or a tackle, they forget about that center.
Yeah. Would you rather address that center now and
I would.
upgrade Bradley Bozeman? I know you were very upset with.
Yeah,
Bozeman
I would.
but
I would because I like to get a center. I like to get a center, somebody who can command the interior. And now but that doesn't mean I want Bradley Bozeman to be cut, because he's not going to be cut. But he can be here. He can be a quality backup if you need him to.
Yeah. So then, would you use a 33 on him though, if you didn't intend him to play this year?
You know what? I probably would because I could use Bradley Bozeman on as a guard if I had to. I as much as I like Corbett and Brady Christensen, I'd be lying if I told you I trusted him coming back. I don't trust him both of them coming healthy this year. I think somebody's going to relapse. I just do. And hey, we can save $3 million by cutting Austin Corbett. So you never know how that's going to work out. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's possible. But the center I was talking about is his name is Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon.
If you would have said Austin Powers, I'd have been like, shut up. Jackson Powers what?
Jackson Powers Johnson.
Oh, what? He's the center?
Yes. He's considered one of the. Yeah. He's considered the best center in the draft, and he's projected as a late
first rounder.
First rounder, yeah.
So this is him right here. Oh, get that lame shit to fall. Just throwing dudes around. That's hilarious. Booyaka.
Yeah, and I see you like that shit.
Oh, I definitely love that shit. I want some more of that shit. It's that time, man. Everybody's starting to pick their draft crush. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
On the tight ends, they're for those of you that don't know, the combine's going on right now. The tight ends, they're getting ready to show up right now. Tomorrow, wide receivers and quarterbacks. We might try and do a stream tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time. I think it starts at 1. I don't know what time we're going to start, but yeah, if y'all are interested in doing a stream tomorrow, we can do that too, and just invite people on to join.
Yep.
I might cut it a little short, a little short today if we're gonna do one tomorrow. But
yeah, I work tomorrow, but I get off at 3, so
it's going to be an all day affair.
Right.
There's going to be a lot.
And
see, that's another thing. I don't even know who's performing. Like, are any of the quarterbacks that we want to see?
I'll tell you right here in a minute. I believe the quarterbacks and the wide receivers are performing tomorrow.
Right, but like, is Drake May performing?
No. None of your top quarterbacks are.
None of them. They're not throwing.
Well, no. The first 2 aren't.
Oh, Drake May and Caleb Williams.
Right.
Is anyone else running the 40? Man, I hate when people don't do the combine. Like, just show off your shit, man.
You're right. On Saturdays, the running backs, quarterbacks, and wide receivers. So you'll see the wide receivers, you'll see the quarterbacks, but some of the quarterbacks that are performing, it's the Let me go back to my list. It's now Caleb Williams isn't doing anything. He talked to a few people. Caleb Williams is not even doing medical. And Drake Mays did everything but medical. He did a medical in the interviews and stuff.
Caleb Williams isn't doing medical?
Caleb Williams didn't do nothing. He showed up, he chatted with a few people, and that's it. He did some radio interviews, but that's it. He really didn't do any TV interviews. He ain't even doing medical. He won't even do medical until a team brings him in as for a home visit.
So
he doesn't feel anybody needs to know. But Jalen Daniels,
I saw him doing interviews.
Yeah, he did some interviews. Jaden Daniels is doing everything. Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Spencer Rattler, all of them are doing everything.
So, who are the only ones that aren't?
Drake May and Caleb Williams, and the wide receiver from Ohio State isn't doing anything.
Oh, in the building. What's up?
What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing tonight?
Chilling.
We're doing all right.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Josh in the chat room who says, Cody, you should pull up Malik Washington's film. So this is one of his plays. He's lined up down here at the bottom. They give him a little bubble screen, and homeboy just takes off.
I don't appreciate this as soon as I come in here, Cody.
I didn't even notice, bro.
Have y'all talked about Chop Robinson?
Par for the course of me, my friend.
No, we have not. Yeah, whoever y'all want me to look up, just tell me, and I'll pull up some stuff.
Chop Robinson going to be gone before we draft anyway.
You think so, Pickle?
Yes, I do.
Well, Cole, since we
Cody,
do have you on the show,
Malik Washington.
Cody, who do you think has priced themselves out of our range?
Now, y'all know Malik Washington.
So, hold on. That's a good question, though, Pickle. Who priced themselves out of the first round, or into the first round?
Yeah.
Out of the second round into the first. Cole, your boy Peyton Wilson might have done that. I don't know.
Man, my goodness.
I don't know.
Malik.
What do you think?
I think it's crazy that he could be a 1, dude, but it's really, if his numbers stay the same like they are, and then all of his medical exams turn out good, dude.
Yeah, now tell me about the medical stuff, because I didn't know that he had torn some ACLs in the past.
He did.
I
think in high school, his senior year, I think he had like a shoulder injury, so that flares up every now and then, but not often, and it hadn't happened in a while. He has had the ACL, but that's been a few years now, and he obviously hadn't lost a step. I hadn't seen somebody with as many injuries as he's had produce like he has, Cody. Because, I mean, he was a 4-year starter, so when he went out there as a freshman and sophomore, he was just average. He was getting beat up, even though he was a 4-star recruit. I was constantly screaming at him, and I just never could believe that he would pan out to what he is today, dude. He's come a long way. A long way.
Okay.
I would love to have him, dude. I would absolutely love to have him. There's not too many people I would stomp my foot harder for to try to get on our team than Peyton, especially playing that linebacker. That's a special position to me.
I don't know. I don't know that I would take the Malik Washington dude, y'all. Sorry, but he may be good, but he's 5'8". He's 185 pounds, and he plays slot receiver. And he's projected to go in the 4th round. That's it. We don't really need a slot receiver. I was trying to look to see if maybe that he plays returning ability or something to add, but he's just he's a slot receiver.
Well, from everything I'm seeing of him, he's definitely a yards after catch guy.
Yeah, it says that, but I mean, and I don't know. I don't want to be hung up on size, but he's still 5'8", 195 pounds.
Oh no!
Yeah,
no, sir. We're not doing that.
I mean,
see, we want that sweet spot, don't we? Where it's like we don't want too tall, because then we're thinking, okay, it's another Jonathan Mango. But I also think that we have to get rid of that a little bit. Like, just because we've had Marshall and Mango disappoint us, like if there is a super talented, big body wide receiver a jump ball wide receiver. Like, I don't think that we should be scared off of that either.
But now I got to be realistic. He is also selected to go in the third round. I said I thought fourth in the third round. If you're taking a fifth round pick and he's still sitting there and you still have an issue, then maybe you do go ahead and take him. But who knows at this point about where he goes or anything. Like I said, the combine, if he comes out and has a blazing 40 time, then he can elevate himself into a different round. If he has an excellent combine, then he can develop himself into a first round pick. Never forget Justin Ross. When we drafted Christian McCaffrey, he was drafted. He had a beautiful 40 time, broke a record at the 40 time at the combine. Wasn't projected to be I think he was projected to be a second.
Oh, John Ross, you mean?
Yeah, John Ross. Yeah. Then he had a beautiful 40 time, blew the combine away. The Bengals take him shortly after our pick, and shortly after we took Christian McCaffrey, and he busted. He was never much of anything. So, speed don't always win.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Sure helps, though, my friend.
Also, the injury history too. Like, if you're one of these speedsters that's always tearing your hamstring, it's like, what good does that speed even do to you at that point?
Right.
Not too much.
Right. And another thing that Malik Washington, is from Virginia. He played at Virginia. You can't be good. You play at Virginia. Y'all know that, don't you?
That's messed up, Pickle.
I know it is.
I know it is.
Yeah.
My uncle, the Virginia Tech fan, would have
that statement. He went to Virginia College, but this website I'm on, NFLDraftBuzz.com, has a picture of him with the Northwestern jersey on.
He probably transferred there.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I wonder how many different teams some of these dudes have been on. I didn't even consider or look
at
that.
See, let me throw this out there. I asked Cody, do you not think that in the future, maybe not this year, maybe not even next year, you're not thinking the future it's going to catch up as a negative aspect for some of these players switching colleges all the time? Because a lot of them are going, especially these defensive guys, they're going from 4 or 5 different systems. They can't, you've got to be good in a system to show out your shit.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and it's like you're never done recruiting. It's like if you're a coach,
like everybody's on 1-year deals, Cody.
Yeah, it's like if you're a coach and you recruit a player to come, and then something doesn't work out, or maybe one of his friends or a guy that he wanted to play with decides to transfer, and then it's just like they're gone. It's like I don't know that that's good for college football. However, I try and see the other end of it, Pickle, to play devil's advocate, right? Like if you're, let's say you've been at college for a year or two and you're not getting the ball as much as you want to, maybe you do go to an Ohio State or an Oklahoma or one of these places that they're going to pass the ball. Yeah. And if you have a great year in your final year of doing that, then that could be enough to skyrocket you into a second and first round. So I see the benefits of it, but I also see how you're gonna almost perpetuate a culture of these students being like, all right, I'll just go somewhere else.
It's already there, Cody.
Some players have to. I feel that some players, when they go to college, a lot of them are there to develop, and because a lot of them will come from high school and there'll be 3 or 4 different. They play a defensive or an offensive position, but by the time they get to college, they don't exactly know whether they're a receiver or a corner or offensive lineman or defensive lineman. So college helps them narrate that into one position that they can concentrate on. And all these transfers, to me, you're hurting you may not hurt the guy who's going to the first round anyway, but a guy in the second, third, or fourth round, you're hurting that dude.
Yep.
Because they rely, like a quarterback, they rely on that quarterback to develop and help them win maybe to national championship. But because that quarterback wants to transfer every other year, or every year, then it isn't helping them win. So in the long run, I think it's hurting college football. But then, of course, nobody pays attention.
Well, and again, there's good and bad examples of it too, like Bo Nix, right? Like he's going to be drafted this year, probably in the first or second round, and he was at Auburn for like 2 or 3 years. Him and Justin Herbert played against each other. Herbert played at Oregon. Bo Nix played at Auburn. He transferred a bunch of different times. Or no, not a bunch, but he played like 3 or 4 years at Auburn, then transferred and played 2 at Oregon. So for him, it ended up being a good thing. Same with Michael Penix. Started at, I believe it was Indiana, and then eventually went to Washington. So both of those guys are like 24, 25 years old. And they're going to get knocked for that a ton too. But I don't know. There's pluses and minuses to it. Oh, did y'all hear that they're changing the rules in college football?
I hate that shit, Cody. Ain't no.
You hate it? I actually think it's kind of like inevitable, man.
A 2-minute warning already on top of all the commercials we already have on college football, dude. No, it's gonna be bad. I don't like it.
So the 2-minute. There's a 2-minute warning. Now they're allowing the quarterbacks to have microphones in the headset. So you know how you talk.
That part is cool.
Yeah. So now you're not going to have like the quarterback looking to the sidelines and them holding up like boards with different pictures on it that symbolize a different play. Like that shit's out the window now.
They're making it more NFL ready.
That's what I'm saying. That's the benefit of it. Like if you're someone that's having to deal with being on the road at LSU or Alabama, and there's 100,000 people in the stadium, that prepares you for those moments when you're trying to get the play call in your helmet. You know, that's a big time stuff. So I'm happy about that. That seems pretty cool.
Have y'all heard of the rule changes they're getting ready or they're highly considering making involving the kickoffs at the NFL level for next year?
No, what happened?
Are they going to adopt the XFL or the other league? I forgot what league it was.
Yeah. They're considering making a I won't get this right. They're considering forcing teams to have 2 kick returners, and if the ball does go in the end zone, you take it at the 30-yard line, not the 25, the 30.
So they're going to try not to kick it in the end zone. Yeah. They're going to encourage a kick return a little more. Sounds like.
Let me find some more info on all that.
Because I'd rather just take the damn ball at the 30 every time if you're going to kick it in the end zone.
I'm so tired of
same way.
Messing with good shit though. Like some shit doesn't need to change.
No.
Like why are you fucking with the kickoff? Like, don't you have some better shit to do?
Yeah, there's gonna be just as many impact hits on the other plays than kickoff. They shouldn't have isolated.
Yeah, they're trying to take away everything, man. Like this is football. This is supposed to be a fucking rough and tumble sport. It's the only sport that plays in bad weather. Dude, it's not supposed to be safe, man.
It's never going to be safe. It's a Warriors game, my friend.
Well, they started to make it patty cake. I mean, look, the defenders can't even touch the wide receiver.
Okay. In the NFL, in the XFL, kicker lines up at his 30-yard line with the 10 other members of the kickoff team line up at the opponent's 35, 5 yards away from the returning team. The kicker and the returner are the only players who can move until the ball is fielded. Touch packs are placed at the 35-yard line.
I kind of like that, Pickle.
No.
You don't like it? If you're going to change it, I don't want you to change it all, but if you're going to change it, something close to that, I'm cool.
Touchbacks are at the 35?
Yeah, that'll encourage
Dude, that's
kickoffs.
Fucking bananas. That's most of the length of the field.
You better kick it in bounds, Cody.
Dude, that is the dumbest shit in the world, man.
Yeah, I agree with Cody. I agree with Cody because that's going to make more pressure on the defense.
The 35 fucking yard line, dude, that's bananas. What are we doing?
Didn't they try 1 year to make it at the 20-yard line instead of 25? Didn't they put it at the 20 1 year? Yeah. I feel like they did.
Well, some of that they did it. They did for like They did for like what is it? They did for like preseasons and stuff. And then when it went regular seasons, they went back to it.
Put that son bitch at the 5. No, I'm kidding.
Put him at the.
No,
at the
I would rather say there was no touchbacks. Wherever the ball lands, you pick it up and field it from there.
I'm cool.
Bro, it just get fucking
Get
demolished.
tackled in the end zone is a damn safety.
Damn right.
pickle.
Yeah, then you're gonna go to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody wants to kick off anymore.
Yeah.
Can't even
Used to be a
protect
lot of
myself.
money made.
Yeah,
by
I
kick
agree with
returners,
Rock.
Cody.
I agree with Rod Jones. Don't fuck with the kickoff. Stop fucking
No.
with the special teams. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Here's football. Yeah, we don't want this
What they
pussy
need to
shit,
do is
man.
have less rules. That's what they need to do. Got too many damn rules anyway.
Bro, I
they
feel like
need
a
to
lot
have
of this
less
woke ass pussy shit, man, seeping into every aspect of our life.
And
now it's
if
coming
a
for
receiver
football too,
goes
man.
across the line, if a receiver goes in the middle and jumps up for to catch a ball and he gets knocked the fuck out, so by God be it. That's
So
what-
be it. That's the
Well,
price
that's
of being
where
a
it used to be.
multi-millionaire too. Hey, your amount of pay doesn't get to go up, and your job gets safer at the same time. What the fuck are we doing? That's not.
They
how it
are
should
going to
work.
change the NFL to the NPL,
Uh-oh.
the National Pussy League.
Oh God.
Jesus, Pickle, don't do our game like that. If that ever happens,
If
I'm gonna
that's
be in
what it's
trouble.
about. It's about to become that any damn way.
Mindless Bird said, "Bro, I'm not calling a grown man Kool-Aid."
No.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
with
having a
you.
hard time with that as well.
Yeah, what
that's
is
all right.
that? What has
He
he
heard
decided to
anyway.
name
Is that
himself,
his
or his
government
mama
name?
named him that?
This is-
No,
That's what
I
ain't no
think he
fucking way.
changed his name, but I do have no idea.
Bro, if
I don't
you
think that's his
named
government
your,
name.
if you named your child Kool-Aid, they need to have Child Protective Services called on your ass.
Damn
What
sure
in
need
the
a mental
fuck are we
evaluation
doing,
immediately.
bro?
No, I've heard a lot worse.
Kool-Aid?
I've heard a lot worse. When I was working at a hospital in North Carolina and West Virginia, I kid you not. We had a child come in who was a year old. His first name was Penis. That's
Oh my God.
Ain't no
Hey,
damn way,
his
Pickle.
first name was Penis.
Oh, my
Now he didn't
God.
live in the
Spelled
area.
just like that too.
And grandma and
P-E-N-I-S.
grandpa were extremely upset about it. But that was his name.
But that's what's his name.
Yes,
Some people-
it was spelled exactly the way you said
Some
it.
people
Yeah.
need to be fucking slapped as hard as humanly
Yeah.
What-
possible.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there a player that came out college named Taco? Wasn't it Taco Charlton or
Taco
something
Yeah,
like that?
Charlton.
Taco
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna name my son Gatorade, y'all.
Might as well. At least
Yo,
get a good flavor.
I'm gonna name my son Mountain Dew. What's up?
Mountain Dew.
Okay, here's all y'all. Here it is.
Ladies are
His
gonna be
real
trying to
name-
do the
his
do
real
all day,
name
you know what I'm saying?
Is y'all know I'm not going to pronounce that.
Oh, look. You're not the one to
I'm
read this right now, Pickle.
I'm gonna cheat
I
like hell.
really want
And I'm gonna put it
it.
in the private chat for Cody to pronounce it.
I want you to do it after Cody, though. I gotta hear it regardless.
Got Quincy.
Yeah,
That
his
ain't that
name is
bad.
his name is Quincy McKinstry.
Now the Kool-Aid story.
Guh?
The Kool-Aid
Quincy.
story is a good story. Okay, he was actually nicknamed Kool-Aid by his grandmother, as a baby because she said his smile reminds him of the Kool-Aid Man. He signed a name, image, and likeness deal with Kool-Aid as a freshman in Alabama.
Of course you
He
do.
He better.
So
Of
you know
course
that's how
you
that's
do.
and so that's all right. That's all right.
Bro,
If
before I
Grandma
go to
can call you
college-
Kool-Aid, I guess so be it. I ain't calling your ass Kool-Aid.
I ain't calling a grown ass man cool.
No, my dad. But now Kool-Aid got himself hurt today, so he might be available in that second
Bro,
round.
if
and
I
y'all
change
asses
my name
know.
to if I was a player and I changed my name to Cadillac, would I be able to
Yeah,
get NIL deals
Yep.
from Cadillac? Yo, my
Cadillac,
name
you
is
should have.
my name is Mercedes, y'all. That's my brand new name. Y'all can call me that from now on.
That's your stripper name.
Lambo.
yeah. My name is Lamborghini El Diablo.
My personal favorite.
Yeah,
I love
my
it.
name. That's my name. Shit. Go to a Carolina school and say, my name is Bojangles. My name is
My name's
Mr.
Bo. What's your last
Bojangles.
name? Jangles.
Yeah, my name is Bo. Bojangles. That's my
Damn,
name.
look
Don't
at
wear
this
it out.
name. This dude's last name is his name's Enos.
Enos? I've heard that before.
Rakestraw Jr.
Enos
Rakestraw Jr.
I mean,
He's
I've heard
from
worse.
Missouri. Yeah, he's from Missouri. Poor feller.
Those names are funny. The names that you can put
See,
together.
I thought Picklesheimer was bad. See,
Y'all were talking about prospects that got hurt. Cody, what's up with the Clemson DB? Did he really tear his groin? Is that shit official?
Pickle said that he tore a hip flexor, but he'll be ready
Not
to
as
go.
bad. Not as bad. Not as bad. You'll take that.
Yo, dude, I would straight up draft Nate Wiggins at 33.
Would you?
But I doubt. There's no way that he's going to be there now.
Isn't he short though? Isn't he like small as hell though? Cody?
No, I don't
No, he's
think so,
6'2". He's 6'2", ain't he?
6'2"? I look like he's 6'2". If he's 6'2", I'll
big
give him
as hell.
green
Bro,
light
he's
then.
just real thin. That's why.
That must be what it is. Okay.
Yeah,
then.
he's real thin.
Well,
But he's
I'm
tall.
not gonna
He's
get
fast,
mad.
man.
I'm not gonna get mad at you for getting a corner right there.
Bro, he
I
shut
will
down Xavier Leggett out of South Carolina.
Uh-oh.
He shut that shit
Say it louder
all
so
the
Kevin
way
can
down.
hear.
well, Xavier. Let's be
But
fair.
that shit
Xavier Leggett.
down.
Xavier Leggett is a 1 year wonder. That's just a fact. He only had
Pretty
one
much.
year. He's a 1 year wonder. So I like the kid myself, but you know, with them 1 year wonders ain't exactly. You know, them 1 year wonders ain't been super for the NFL.
True.
Pickle,
That
he's
is
blending in
true.
nice with my Panthers over
I
here.
still, I still like that tight end from Texas.
Who?
Which was his name? I don't even know who you're talking about. And I should know, but I don't.
Jatavian Sanders.
He's good. He's really good.
Yeah.
Just put names in the chat if you want me to look them up, and I'll put them into Twitter and find some shit.
Scouting report on everybody right now.
They're showing Brock Bowers. He's probably going to be a top 10 type of guy. Look at my Clemson boys putting up all them reps on the bench press like some real dogs.
Dogs.
Yep. It's in the chat, Cody.
And hey, just remember, everybody.
Yeah, I know.
But no, everybody remember that as we're looking at these prospects, we're looking for dogs.
That's it.
Boy. We're looking
And
for
no damn
dogs.
little kitty cats. Yeah, now Canales does like Leggett. He really does. We'll see how that works out. But a lot of that'll find out once they do their. I'm sure they'll do a visit on him where they'll bring him to the stadium and talk with him, and maybe run him through a drill and chat with him. That'll tell him a whole lot. That'll tell him how much is in his heart and how much fight he's got, and it'll tell him whether he was held back behind other folks or whether he's just. That'll tell them a whole lot. So.
I can't wait to see who wins, Cody, between.
Look at Brock Bowers' hair. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Brock Bowers, bro, he needs to get that Just for Men sponsorship money, bro. Dude, I'm just saying, oh boy, his hairline is social distancing.
Getting a little
from his
thin up
forehead.
there. I ain't even seen it.
Yeah, man, he might need some Just for Men. But whatever, dude, he's out there dominating, man.
Yeah, just shave it off and go with that, man.
Yeah, I mean that's what.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean, I
a
don't
big
know.
tight end too. That would be okay.
Yeah.
Would be accepted.
Come out there, have it haircut like The Rock. You'd be all right.
Oh, y'all want to see some cool shit?
What you got?
Check this out. So this is Jatavion. Boop. Oh, one hand. It just grabbed that shit out the sky.
Yeah. He's got some really good tape.
Jesus.
He's a guy. He's a guy.
Who the hell was that, Cody?
That our man.
That is Jatavion
Sanders. That is the guy G-Baby says is an alien.
He did look like an alien. Jesus. Where did he play at?
Texas.
G-Baby's team.
Ew. I did know they had a couple receivers.
All right, I see you. Hold on. I see you, AJ. Saying high school? Okay, hold on. Y'all want some college ball? You know your boys got you. So he's 0. Another one-handed catch.
Yeah.
Big and strong. Oh,
yeah, I like that. Whoa. I like he just stopped. Oh, yeah. Shit, that's my guy right there, yo.
Shit.
He said, who the
big
fuck
as hell.
Get the hell off. Bitch.
Oh.
He said, give me that damn ball. This shit mine.
Yeah, I like him. He's big and strong.
He'll be there in the second.
You know he ate his Wheaties.
My God. And yours too. That damn big.
Yeah. I wonder what his 40 time was. I gotta look.
We need one up.
You mean a big physical dynamic receiver?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he
Pickle, the 40 time was a 4.69.
Oh, that's
that's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Size, absolutely.
Yeah, he's 6'4", 245 pounds.
As a receiver? Yes.
No, he's a tight end.
He looks like a receiver. You could put him
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you line a tight end like that
receiver.
up.
That's a wide
receiver. You know, and that's called a mismatch. You know,
big time.
Hell yeah. Anthony, what up?
What's up, boys? How y'all doing?
What up, dude?
Chilling.
Cool.
Just looking over some players, man. Talking about have linebackers move themselves into the conversation. They're being picked at 33. But just whatever you want to talk about, man. We're talking a little bit of everything. And if people have someone they want me to pull up, like a player, I can pull them up on Twitter.
Folks, come on, chat. Get going.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, man. No, I discussed this last night in the spaces. I've been a little, lovey-dovey for these receivers, but like at this point, I'd rather just pick the best player available. And I do like, I know you're bringing up Nate Wiggins, but I think he'd be awesome. It's just, we don't really know if any of these guys are going to be here, man. Like, I feel like he'll be gone by like the 20th pick. The Wilson guy from NC State, I mean, he does have a lot of measurables, just like Luke Kuechly. Now, we're not saying he's got the mind of Luke Kuechly or anything to that nature, but like he'd definitely be a great pickup. I talked about Brian Thomas earlier. We met with him today from LSU. Yes, I know we've had deja vu from Terrace Marshall, but I think when you watch his film, he can actually run routes. He's not just a jump up and catch it big receiver. And and then the second thing I'll say is, listen, man, I'm just gonna lean on you for the draft process, because I have the worst evaluations when it comes to the draft, man. Like, I feel like I know a little bit about football, but I don't know shit at this point about the draft, man. I'm kind of with Tony Dunn. So if you got someone in mind, like you're really high on, like, I'm gonna just roll with you, Cody, at this point.
I hear you.
And I do want to bring this up. Mike Evans is testing free agency. I'll say this one more time. I know we only got 5 of us on the panel, but I'd rather give that money to Mike Evans, man, than Brian Burns. I'm sorry. Like,
do y'all think that he would be willing to come and let Bryce throw him the ball after last year? Like, does he believe that much in Dave Canales and Brad?
I think he wants to go to a team where he can win a championship, or another championship, I should say.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. I think he's in the one, he's already won one, man. And 2, I think he's just going to try to get the most amount of money he possibly can.
Yep, that's me. I think he's going for the bag.
Yeah, because he's been on this kind of pay cut with Tampa. Yeah, he's been on this pay cut with Tampa because when Brady came in the last 3 years, they all kind of like restructured their deals and stuff so they could add more talent to the roster. So he hasn't been making nearly as much money as what he's worth. But if we don't get him, we don't get him. But I definitely think that Dan Morgan should be working the phones. Like, we don't have to trade for him, and you never know, man. I mean, that's a guy that I'd be willing to take some dead money for down the line. You know, if he comes here for 2 years and like we have to pay him, I mean, $60 million. I'm not upset with that because he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and he can still play some pretty damn good football. So that's just my opinion on it. But yeah, I was listening to you guys earlier. We're talking about some touchback rule. Now,
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Carolina
looking
shit
like
again.
they're gonna change the touchback rule even more, which nobody likes.
dude, at this point, you got to feel bad for these defensive coordinators. Like, what the hell are they supposed to tell their players? It's like, yeah, man, you can't really give up a 50-yard pass on this drive, or they're at like the 15-yard line already. So yeah, if the ball's gonna be at the 35, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid to me.
Literally,
I
first
hate
downs within
that.
field goal range. It's all about the fucking points, and I'm getting tired of it. I'd rather see a slugfest, low scoring sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I do enjoy that better than 40-40.
I was quickly glancing at that Braylon Allen highlights, the running back.
Yeah, I was
Him
looking
too. Oh my
at.
god, is he the
yeah.
monster? Is
I
that the
saw what it
Wisconsin
looked
back?
like at 17, but I
Yeah,
was
that's
looking
me,
at.
Cody. That's all I saw, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, no. One thing I'll notice though, it's not to distract that he's a great player, but them boys on that team know how to run block.
Yes, they do. They always do.
So,
So,
but
did y'all see Braden Fisk, the big boy from FSU? So Josh just brought him up. Huh?
okay,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, show him.
He can run. I will say though, do you think if we're looking at offensive line, do you think we should be looking at?
Do I think what?
I was about to pose a question. Do we think we should be looking at versatility versus just specialization in one place? Because if you're asking my opinion, and I could very well be wrong, I think we just need to find players that can play, in my opinion. I think we got to focus a little bit on the athleticism side of some of these players.
I agree with you, Anthony. We need people that's good at their craft, at their position. I absolutely agree. I'm tired of these Swiss Army knife people that don't work out. I absolutely agree with what you're saying, Anthony.
Oh shit, y'all! I'm seeing a ghost. There's a ghost around these parts. It's my man Drew back on the free for all. Drew, what up, baby?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing tonight?
What up,
What's
Drew?
up,
man?
Drew?
We're doing good, brother. How
What
you
up,
been,
Drew?
man?
What's going on, everybody?
Chilling, man. Happy to have you back on the free for all, brother. How you been, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Came on for a little bit to talk about these Carolina Panthers real quick.
You been working out? Man, you looking good shape, man. You look like you've been busy.
He looking
bro.
cut.
Yeah, man. What you been up to, man? You been hitting some push-ups?
Hey, I got
get right for the
kids, man.
combine.
I
Keep
hear
me-
you,
keep me
brother.
Going.
Hey, that's good shit. I'm proud of you, man. That's what's up. That's what's
Thanks,
up.
brother.
Yeah, so man, what you got for the free for all, brother? Bestow me some Panther discussion that you've got on your mind.
Honestly, Cody, I am going into this next season, off season and everything with an open mind. We are the Carolina Panthers, and you got to think about it. Last year, we supposedly had the Avengers of coaching staff. Well, that flopped.
Yeah.
Kind of like DC, but anyway. But I mean, when people expect us to be good, we shit the bed. When people don't expect anything from us, we end up
Very
surprising
true.
people. So nobody expects anything from us this upcoming season. They expect us to be bottom dwellers, looking at the top 5 pick in the draft or whatever. I honestly feel we're going to surprise some people this year.
Okay.
I really do. I think Dave Canellis, the more I listen to this guy, and I had my doubts about Dan Morgan, but the more I listen to him, and they're very methodical and thoughtful in how they speak and the process that they're trying to go through. It's not like Matt Rule, where he was trying to, rah-rah, blow smoke up your ass. And Frank Wright, who is just like watching paint dry on the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, they really have a thought-out plan of how they want to build this team. And finally, Dan Morgan said something that I've been wanting these guys to say for the longest. This team needs an attitude adjustment. They need some dogs. And he said, that's what we need, dogs on this team.
Dogs.
And I think everybody on this roster besides Derrick Brown and Bryce Young is available. This roster needs a complete overhaul. So unless your name is Bryce Young or Derrick Brown, give us your best offer.
Yeah.
We need draft capital. We don't have any draft capital. And I think that's what bothers me with people saying, oh, we need to trade for T. Higgins. With what? We don't have any draft capital. And the little draft capital we have, we need to build depth on this team.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew, have you been talking to G Baby, man? Because y'all are spitting the same exact thing. G Baby's been saying we need to acquire as many picks as we possibly can, man. And I'm not.
And G Baby's absolutely right. This team lacks depth. From the time Matt Rule came on as a head coach and David Tepper bought this team, the depth on this team has fallen dramatically.
Preach, brother, preach.
It truly
never
has
been great either. We've always had depth issues, even when we were good, in my opinion.
Yeah, but we haven't been this dense.
Not that bad. Yeah, this is abysmal.
So let me ask you this: would you consider moving down from pick 33?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If you have a block of players that you feel comfortable are going to be available, if you move down, I'm taking that 33rd pick and I'm moving down. You're not one player away. You need multiple players. And as a lot of GMs say, we want as much draft capital as possible so we can have more bites at the apple. The more, because everybody's gonna miss on a pick. Everybody, the greatest GM in the world is gonna miss on a pick. So the more opportunities you have to throw darts at the board to get somebody that could actually do something for your team, the better chance you have of sticking around.
Yeah. The only thing that would worry me about that is that Fitterer did that in his first year. He traded down a bunch. And I'm almost wondering.
Was a bad evaluator of talent because we all flipped out when they gave up what they did for Sam Darnold.
Yes.
And then gave him the 5th-year option right off the bat without seeing what he could do.
True. Yeah, all of that is 1,000% true, man.
So we have no depth on this team, so we need as many bodies as humanly possible. As I said, this year is going to be an adjustment year. We're not looking at a Super Bowl. We're not even probably looking at the playoffs, but I think we're going to surprise some people this coming season.
Hey, Panda wanted to know, would we be surprised if the Panthers didn't draft a wide receiver in a wide receiver draft this deep?
I wouldn't be upset about it if they took care of some other positions. We need a true middle linebacker. We need a captain of the defense.
Yep.
So
and
I would rather get linebacker than get a wide receiver.
Right.
You can get a wide receiver in free agency. Calvin Ridley's available. Grab him. I mean, as I said, we're not looking to win a Super Bowl this year. We're just looking to progress and move up. Give Calvin Ridley a 2 or 3 year deal that's actually
and he'd be fairly cheap too. He'd be cheap.
Exactly. So build your defense. I mean, the offensive line, I don't think the offensive line is as bad as they played last year. Honestly, because honestly, that same offensive line, Steve Wilkes had them looking like road graders.
That's what I've been saying.
I think Frank Wright was so set in his ways, he did the opposite of what Dave Cannella said he's going to do. He's not going to force a player to play a position or do something he's not comfortable in doing. He's going to see, what do you do best, and how can I take my scheme and put you in the best position to succeed.
That's something that we have not had for a long time. Someone to be able to move people around and put them in the right position. That's something that we're in desperate need of. Eric with $5 says, doesn't matter if you move up or down. If in the draft, if you can't evaluate talent, you'll miss on the pick no matter what.
That's true.
So that's such a good point. And also, I think something to remember too, we're all shouting for linebackers. Well, who else would know the value of a dominant inside linebacker other than Dan Morgan himself? Like, it almost lends more credence to the fact that they might indeed be looking to fill that position at 33. And Drew, before you came on here, we were asking, did the performance of Payton Wilson move linebacker up people's preferred position list? Because you have him running.
I remember his name. He was the guy I was watching, and I liked what I saw.
Dude, so one of the comparisons being made. Now, granted, it's a lofty comparison, but they're comparing my man to Luke Kuechly. He ran a faster 40-yard dash, doesn't weigh quite as much, but he's tall, rangy. Man, I would love this dude in the middle of our defense, man. And
but at 233 and a 6'3", Cody, he can put on that weight if you put him in the weight.
Yes,
he definitely will.
Yes, I mean that man.
Cody, if you covered those pictures up, you would think Kuechly's numbers is
Drew.
left.
Drew, do you remember how much Thomas Davis weighed when he came into the draft NFL?
He was a safety.
Yeah, he played safety.
Yeah, he was 228 or he was 228 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, he was just a little bit more than Chin, but yeah, and he put on weight. Putting on weight's not a problem.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, if they bring this guy in for a team visit, you know how they do the team visits before the draft?
Yeah,
I would actually have him sit in a room with Luke Kuechly.
Hey, he's already getting trained by Luke Kuechly, and that's a fact.
I say, Luke, do us a solid. Come in here and talk football with this guy. After you're done, tell us what you think.
Well, Pickle, have they been training together, or is this just a comp?
They worked out, and he asked Luke, and Luke took him into the film room and showed him how to read film correctly.
That was his favorite player, Cody.
Don't get my hopes up.
No, that's his favorite player. He was a huge Kuechly fan.
He said that. He said that at the combine.
Yep.
He spoke about Luke Kuechly at the combine.
Sure did.
I'm liking this guy even more now.
Telling you, that was who he idolized. That's who
he idolized.
Like.
That's who he tried to emulate his career off of.
I didn't know that until then. That explains to me why he plays the fucking way he plays, because his motor and energy and the way he gets after the ball, dude, he hunts for 4 quarters, just like Kuechly did.
Y'all gonna give everybody hopes up. That man's gonna get drafted 32. Kansas City's gonna get him.
It'll give me more reasons to hate Kansas City.
Wow. Damn, man. Dude, Luke Kuechly. We have not had someone at that linebacker position since. And I think Dan Morgan, again, we're wanting him to sit down with Luke, but have him sit down with Dan. That's what
I think Dan would be in
have them both in a room. Have them both in a room.
Pretty sure Dan can mentor him a little bit, Cody.
Dan,
for sure.
Dan was never quite the player that Luke Kuechly was, but he was the Luke.
He would have been, Cody. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Only reason
without the concussions, he would have been.
Yeah, same story for both of them.
Dan Morgan was a beast.
Yep.
That's still a Super Bowl record for tackles, right?
Yep. 25.
I don't think nobody's gonna beat that one in my lifetime. 25
Honestly,
is a
the
hell
more
of
I
a
look
number.
at this kid, the more I say Brian Burns is available for trade because we can use the trade assets.
That's what I said.
Because I'm not giving Brian Burns $30 million. I'm sorry.
Hell no.
Yeah, I mean,
Hell
Nope.
no.
If he wants 25, I think about it. But anything
Oh.
above 25, I'm picking up the phone and I'm like, what do you want to give me for him?
So look, speaking of this, do you think there are chances now that that Derrick Brown could end up getting that big contract, that he could end up being the person that gets paid?
I would.
Yes,
He should.
I think
He
so.
should.
They were talking. They talked about. They talked about that at the Combine, that the 3 people that they want to resign and get extended this year. Okay, and Derrick Brown was one of them.
Lulu was another one, right?
He's the only one of those 3. He's the only one of those 3 that is currently under contract. So there's no reason why they had to say him now, unless they meant it.
Yeah.
So, and you bet, and it's true. You better extend him now as opposed to waiting till later.
Yeah, don't be a Scott Footer and wait around and keep pushing it down the line.
Y'all see that?
Can it be cheaper?
If you look on NFL Network Combine, Josh McCown is sitting with Kevin O'Connell, and they hold the 11th pick. I'm telling y'all right now, the Minnesota Vikings are drafting a quarterback with that 11th pick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because they don't have one.
Who's
They have to.
They're talking
They
about
have
going
to.
to Atlanta.
It may
They're
be
probably
Penix
gonna
Jr.
take Jaden McDaniels.
Jay Daniels, LSU. Yep, I heard that
Jaden
too.
Daniels is not. I don't think Jaden Daniels falls to 11.
Yeah,
no, because the Raiders are talking to the Patriots. The Raiders are trying to trade up to get him.
That's what I said earlier.
Personal
The Raiders
connection
are trying to.
Pierce. Does Pierce know him like that? Is that why they want him, or was that just bullshit?
Yeah, Pierce. They have a relationship.
Okay,
so, yeah.
I thought that was bullshit.
Hey, guys, I want to bring up 2 things real quick. Someone just brought up the contract situation. Dan Morgan did in fact say that he's not going to be kicking the can down the road with these contracts. That's why he wants to pay Derrick Brown now. And the second thing is, have you guys noticed a little difference so far? When we're meeting and talking with some of these players, you look at some of these names, you're like, okay, yeah, these are good players that we've seen in college. Last year, Scott Blair was interviewing a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, people that you barely even knew is who we were interviewing.
Yeah, and that's how I knew that. Like, I knew these players weren't going to pan out unless we had a really good developing coaching staff. Like, we're interviewing Nate Wiggins and Brian Thomas, and these are all guys that we've been talking about and seeing in college football for months. So I just wanted to throw that out there as
that's a great point too. It seems like in a very short amount of time, Dan Morgan has kind of, I don't want to say fully converted, but the people that were kind of hesitant about Dan, of him being a leftover of a different regime and we should have gone completely new. It seems like more and more I'm hearing those people come around and say, okay, yeah, Dan Morgan, he looks like he's trying to do the right things that the Panthers should have done before, trying to be a little bit early on Derrick Brown. Now it looks like he's talking about some of the bigger name players in the Combine, in the draft that we've already met with. Guys that are big names, Brian Thomas Jr., Nate Wiggins. That's another. I mean, Nate Wiggins is the name. Obviously, I'm a Clemson fan, so if we could get him, that would be incredible. But a lot of these names that I feel like in former years you would have never associated with the Panthers. So that's a great point, man. That's a great point.
And we gotta hope and pray that a lot of these quarterbacks do go in the first round because it's gonna push down other players that we need down to 33 pick.
Good point.
There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, believe it or not.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them too, man. JJ McCarthy from Michigan is going to be available. Bo Nix is going to be available. Spencer Rattler, let me knock on wood so Kev don't come running back in here. You're running his mouth. Spencer Rattler, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels. Dude, there could be 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the first round.
And
which everybody says that.
Because of something like that is another reason I would look to trade Brian Burns. Because with all, if those quarterbacks go as high as everybody's talking about, as you guys were saying, it's going to push very good positional players down the draft board. And if
Yeah.
we can acquire picks, we can have a shot at multiple of those players.
Right.
So are you saying, Drew, that we potentially, during draft night, based on how the board falls, we trade Brian for like pick 22 or something like that?
I trade
I've
Brian
been saying
before the
trade him on
draft.
draft night. That's a great
I would
take.
trade him before the draft.
I'd draft him.
Okay.
I'd do it on draft night too. You might get higher value for him.
Well,
somebody
that's what
might
I'm
get
saying.
desperate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you know how the board's falling and there's a player right there that you desperately want to take.
But
then
see,
it's like,
then whoever you're trying to trade with can hold you over a barrel, because then they know if you're trying to get up that high, you got your eye on somebody.
yeah.
Yep,
you
you're desperate.
want. So now at
That's
that
true.
point, they got you over a barrel.
Also true.
Now, if you trade him now, then you have the capital that, oh, I want to move up. I got the capital. This is what I can offer you to move up to that spot where I want to take a certain player.
Man, there's just so many different positions that I feel like could be filled, with that quality first round pick. Because again,
Hey, but
like
I'm gonna
some
tell
of
you, I
these-
hate to say this, guy, and I know this isn't Panther related, but I'm gonna tell you who's gonna screw up the most in this draft this year.
who's that?
The Chicago Bears.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Yeah, I do
Why?
too. I do too.
I agree.
So,
Because
but
they're
I
gonna do the dump. They are set up to be contenders for a very long time if they played this right. And they're about to screw it up because they're gonna trade Justin Fields and take Caleb Williams, and then they're gonna find out Caleb Williams was a product of his system.
oh,
Well, I don't blame them for trading Justin Fields, and I'll explain why briefly. Justin Fields has been on that team for going on 4 years or 5.
yeah, 4. Him and
Four.
Trevor
Yeah.
came in at the same time.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, no offense, but if people keep saying that he has to develop, okay, you screwed up to start with by forcing him on the field when you did. Number one, I feel it's too late for Justin to develop adequately at a quarterback. I understand they should trade. I think the Bears trading Justin and getting drafting a quarterback, I think is a good idea. I just think they're taking the wrong quarterback.
Now, see, I'm totally opposite of you, Pickle, because I'm like this. I think Justin Fields was done a tremendous disservice, almost the same way they did Bryce Young.
No, I don't deny that. I don't deny that
They
he was done
did
wrong.
not put talent around Justin Fields.
But
The first thing they did right was getting DJ Moore, was fleecing Carolina and getting DJ Moore.
right. I just
Now,
feel.
I think about look at it this way.
Go ahead.
If you take that number 1 pick, you trade down because you know somebody's going to want to move up to take the quarterback. Trade down to a couple of spots. With those 2 first-round picks, take Marvin Harrison Jr. or the best wide receiver available with that first pick, and then you're going to have pick 9, draft Bowers from Georgia. You're going to give him 2 stud wide receivers and a stud tight end. You build your defense through free agency because they got a hell of a lot of cap space.
And
then
they
the
just
rest
went
of
and
the
got
draft,
Montez Sweat.
Line.
That's where I think they're going to mess up, Drew, because I think they're
No.
going to draft a quarterback first overall instead of Marvin Harrison. That's a mistake. That is a mistake.
Yeah,
Quick
they don't.
reminder.
Yes. See, that's what I would do.
If they trade Justin Fields, he will be a multi-time Pro Bowler wherever he ends up going.
I don't
Well,
know about that.
So all
Mark
the rumors were
Here.
that he could go to Atlanta. But now,
I don't.
if y'all have
there's-
checked Twitter, they're saying Kirk Cousins might.
Yeah,
go.
in 2 days.
Which
2
is
days
not-
I've
I
heard.
hope that's what happens.
2 days
so
I've heard
fucking bad, dude.
I've heard 3 major rumors. Number 1, Fields was going to Atlanta. Number 2, Kirk Cousins going to, number 2, Atlanta was going to draft a quarterback. They were going to trade up and draft a quarterback. Number 3, they was going to sign Kirk Cousins. I'm like, just
Yeah,
do
who
something or
knows?
shut up.
Who knows what they're
Out
going
of
to do?
I mean,
all those,
They don't know what the hell they do.
I would rather
But-
them to sign Kirk Cousins.
But Drew,
Well, that's
to
what I said. I'd rather have
go
them
back
sign
to-
Kirk Cousins. So I don't. Either way, I don't trust Atlanta to do anything constructively good. So I'm not worried about
to
them.
go back to the
Um,
Bears, though, Drew. If you're Chicago, while all that might be true, you get to restart the quarterback clock. if you do draft a quarterback.
I understand we're restarting the quarterback clock. I get it.
And
because of the contract,
you don't have to pay him.
But Caleb, I'm gonna tell you guys, in 3 years, mark my words, they're gonna be looking for another quarterback. Watching that bowl game of USC's and seeing that backup quarterback come in there off the bench, ain't started a game this year, and throw a bowl record 6 touchdown passes, just showed me Caleb Williams was a product of the system that Lincoln Riley ran.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's going to be interesting.
Nobody can come off the bench and set a bowl record with 6 touchdown passes. That throws up red flags for me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm watching this tight end drill on NFL Network. These tight end drills, and they suck. Ain't one of them called anybody.
They can't catch where
they can't catch where yet.
Hey, but to be fair, Pickle, whoever that got throwing that ball,
he ain't real good
is dog shit. That man's look. He ain't even putting the ball nowhere near him. But man, but no, look, you're right about that though, Drew. I just think that if you're Justin Fields, it's going to take a lot for a team to believe in him. I think. Like, what team would even trade for him? And what would you even be trading for Justin Fields? A first round pick, a second round pick? Because remember, then they're going to have to do what the Panthers did with Sam Darnold. They're either going to have to decide to pick up the 5th-year option or let him play out the last year. Now maybe Atlanta wants to do that, but like Pickle said, right now there's been every single rumor associated with the Falcons to draft a quarterback. I heard they loved Drake May at one point in time.
Yeah,
way too far down.
But no, but see what if I was Atlanta, and I do agree with Drew on a lot. If I was Atlanta, number one, I'd either take the wide receiver, Harrison, and keep Fields and go in that way, and with the 9th pick up a tight end or something, or an offensive line or somebody. Now, or I would call Washington up, ask him if they were interested, tell them I've got a boatload of people wanting that pick. I've got, I'd say I'd make up a team. The Vikings, they want to trade up. They love Drake May, and they want Drake May. I'd throw the Condre to Washington to try to get them, because you trade up, then I'd keep moving down in that order.
You just want to stay, especially if you want Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, Chicago has draft capital to get whatever they want.
Now there's a point in the draft, and I think it would be after the Patriots is when I would stop, because I would imagine Washington and the Patriots both want a quarterback. I wouldn't go below the Patriots because the cards are there. The cards will probably take Harrison if I'm not careful. Yeah. So I would definitely take Harrison. I would take him with the Patriots pick if I could do it that way. I wouldn't let the Cardinals near him.
No.
But
Harrison shouldn't fall out the top 5, y'all. I mean, he's got to go top 5. He has to go.
Well,
top
he
5.
won't.
No, he's not getting past Arizona.
He's not. He's not getting past Arizona. If you look at Arizona, Arizona's had one wide receiver this whole year, and he's hitting free agency. They've got a good tight end, good young tight end, and they're set up to draft a wide receiver.
Tell him, JJ, hit that like.
I'm telling y'all, I'll make a hot take right now. I think that Bryce Young is still going to be better than all these quarterbacks in this class. I still think so.
Tell Cody. Right, Drake May.
I tell you why. I hope you're right.
I'm tired of even making predictions like that, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Panther fan. Y'all know that. I want Bryce Young to be great, just so I could rub it in everybody's face. That's the only reason I want him to be, just so I can rub it in. And I don't know that it's anybody in C3. I can communicate with you guys. It's the outside folks I want to rub in the face.
I don't think there's any.
Just want to believe
there's a lot of folks
fail so they can make a point.
Yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only reason why a lot of them want him.
You can't be a true Panther fan if you're hoping our quarterback fails, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, they do.
I don't care.
They do. I agree with. I agree with you.
Hey,
what Drew was saying.
Well, hey, real quick, I gotta welcome a couple people to the show. JJ back on the show. But
What's
my
up, Ken?
brother from another mother, one of the men that waves that C3 flag highest and brightest, is my man, D's Ill Skills.
Ah,
What up,
there he is,
D's?
man.
D's, what up,
Oh,
brother?
no.
What's up, bro?
Not much. Glad to see all you guys here gathered together talking about these sorry ass Carolina Panthers on a Friday night. I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation. I was tuned in. I was out with the old lady having a nice steak dinner as I was requested, and I know better than to deny that request. And we went to an early dinner, and I have made it on here now. So I am glad to be here on the free for all, and I have got some background noise going on.
Yeah.
There we go.
D's
Got
are
that.
at 5.
There
Look
you
at him.
Let's
No,
talk
man,
about these
happy
Panthers.
happy you had a great dinner, man. Happy you had a great night out with the missus, and happy to have you on the free for all, man. I'll turn the mic to you. We've been talking about linebackers and the performance of Peyton Wilson, the NC State linebacker, and how it kind of propelled those linebackers back to the position at 33. What position do you think is the likeliest now to be drafted at 33? And do you believe that it might just be linebacker, especially seeing as how our GM was a one-time Panther great linebacker in the form of Dan Morgan? What say you, D's?
I heard you putting together that argument. That's a killer argument, man. I don't know how you debate that one. Dan Morgan certainly should know what a good middle linebacker looks like. And if one of them falls, then he's ready. But that may just be the case. We might just be waiting to see what kind of slips through the cracks for this Panthers team. And he wasn't BSing around when he said BPA. You know, we really might just take whatever's there. Now, my personal feelings, what I would personally like if I was the GM and I was selecting, I would go one of the hog mollies, either one of these tackles. It's projected up to 10 tackles go in the first round. And if a tackle falls, I think we'd be stupid not to grab him because we've been struggling there. We owe Taylor Moton a bunch of money. We might need to get out from under a contract as far as Moton's concerned. Icky could struggle again this year. Brady Christensen may not be available to be our swing tackle. It would be a great scenario to draft a tackle and have him in that swing tackle role. Along with that, anything on the defensive line, I think, would be a good selection as well. If we were to trade Brian Burns, I feel like our edge rusher position is going to be extremely weak. Panther Pickle has pointed out to me that we're losing 15 contracts are up for re-signing on that defense, as compared to like 5 for the offense. So, man, we might need to take a close look at what we got going on at edge rusher. First and goal, C3 first and goal was talking to that in the chat earlier. He was talking about Darius. Oh man, he's from Missouri, the 6'6" edge rusher from Missouri. Anyway, he had his name in there earlier. I can't recall it. I had it on my mind too, but that guy would be good to replenish our edge rushers, especially if we're forced in a situation where we need to trade Brian Burns. Y'all haven't re-mentioned tonight that we've only got until the 5th. Today's the 1st. There's only a few days left to apply that franchise tag or work out a deal for Burns. So that's going to happen quickly, guys. We've got to get an answer and a resolution to that, or we may be loading up at edge rusher at pick number 33. Along with that, I like what Panther Pickle's been saying for the nose tackle position or any kind of defensive tackle. The guy from FSU, I like him too. He damn sure looked good running that 40 you showed earlier. That'd be a great addition. You got to remember the Carolina Panthers were dead last in allowing rushing touchdowns last season. So that would be a place where we could shore that up, Cody.
And Darius Robinson was the name you were thinking of.
Thank you.
Out of Missouri. Shout out to the chat. Conseco 2 times and MLB 4 1 and and by the way, I've been saying if ever there's some names that people want me to look up, I can certainly do that too, and we can look.
JJ McCarthy.
When y'all, you know what name came to me when y'all said Missouri? Though I could be wrong. Coney Ely. Y'all remember that? Didn't he come from Missouri?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Coney.
yeah.
If the Panthers win the Super Bowl in 2015, he's the Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
Damn.
It depends.
Damn, why'd you have to bring that name up?
Ouch.
Hey, y'all said Missouri. I can't help that. Y'all said Missouri.
What the hell?
Had we won that Super Bowl with Cam scoring a clutch touchdown and being more heroic at the end, they might have given it to Cam still, kind of like how they did Patrick Mahomes his first Super Bowl.
Yeah, true.
I don't think I would have been cool with that though, JJ.
Nah,
I would have accepted it, but I wouldn't have been cool with it. That would have been.
I mean,
cold.
but if Cam Newton, but hold on. If we were losing that whole game, and then Cam Newton stormed back to help us win the Super Bowl, it would be hard to not give it to Cam in that scenario.
It's a part of the narrative.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I get
That still hurts.
I know.
Oh, I know it does. I can't watch it. I can't watch that game, dude. I see ESPN and all that try to replay that game. Nope. Sorry. Nope.
Jake, I blame you for making us talk about this, bro.
Go right ahead, bro. Go right ahead.
I won't
Damn
watch it.
you, man.
Nah, I heard someone say Bryce Young better than all the quarterbacks in here, and oddly enough,
that was Anthony's ass. If that was Anthony, you better get him.
JJ McCarthy than any other quarterback. Honestly, I think JJ McCarthy is gonna be a guy, man. I don't know why. He just reminds me of just like a better, feeling. Bigger, faster Bryce coming out. But he went to Michigan instead of Alabama.
Why are people comparing him to Joe Burrow? I'm hearing that comparison, and I don't know why.
Nah, they're tripping with that comparison.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest.
Strapped at those comparisons. My fault, Anthony.
No, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Honestly, I'm not making no more draft evaluation takes. All my takes fucking suck an ass, bro. Every single one. So like, I'm just gonna say what I gotta say. I will say this. I don't think I think Caleb Williams is gonna be a pretty good quarterback. I just don't think he'll be like what he's hyped up to be. Like, I think at best he'll probably be like a top 12 guy. Because, like, I do agree with Drew. But then again, like, some of the throws he makes are just absolutely bonkers, though. So, I don't know. As for Drake May, I don't know. I mean, I like him for sure. Everyone compares him to Herbert, but he kind of reminds me of Phillip Rivers, that with legs. Jaden Daniels, I don't know. There's not much tape. I honestly don't know about any of these guys. But I do agree with JJ that JJ McCarthy, he's giving off this like it factor kind of thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe he just has that ability to just win, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, they didn't ask him to throw the ball a ton, which is, I think, one of the knocks on him. But he was very efficient when they did ask him to, though. I know JJ knows how good he is. Michigan beat his Buckeyes the past 2 years in a row. I mean, so of course JJ jumps out right as I said that.
Yeah, he said I'm out. He said that I'm out of here.
If I can, I want to make a prediction.
All right, hey, real quick, Pickle. Let me give a shout out to my man Drew. He has to leave us, but Drew, man, we miss you so much, brother. We appreciate you coming on the show, man. Give me your final words for the free for all, brother.
Hey, I'm just glad to be back with you guys. I'm gonna try to make it on a lot more often. But
yes,
hey, the draft is coming up, free agency's coming up. All we can do is, believe in this new coaching staff and believe in this front office and hope that brighter days are ahead for the Carolina Panthers, because we've been through a lot these last 6 years, and it's time for things to start going our way a little bit. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, yes, sir. Drew, we appreciate you, man. We're happy to have your optimism. And we'll be seeing you again soon, brother. Happy
all
to
right,
have
we'll
you,
see you guys. Have a good night.
Take it easy, Drew.
All right,
yes,
we'll see you.
Take it easy, Drew. My prediction is for a quarterback.
Cover me for a second, Pickle. I'll be right back.
All right, man. That I don't think anybody's talking about. Or maybe it was Michael Penix Jr. will be drafted in the first round, number 16, by the Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh,
because Geno Smith's contract, they save like well over, I think, 20-30 million if they release Geno Smith after next year. Now, what my connection to this is simply Michael Penix Jr., quarterbacks coach / offensive coordinator in college, is now the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks. The matches are there. To me, it's all matched up. Plus, I got onto a Seahawks, because a friend of mine at work was a Seahawks fan, and he showed me. He got on some websites this morning and showed them to me. The Seahawks have met twice with Michael Penix Jr. in there. They also went out to dinner with him at the combine. So I really think that's going to be their quarterback of the future. We know Geno Smith's contract doesn't make him the quarterback of the future. That's just my opinion, though.
The only knock on Penix was his age, right? He's a little older to be one of the prospects this year. Didn't he have an injury as well?
Yeah, injuries is the other knock on him, but I still like him.
Right. Which that's what I say. But where his quarterback coach in college just matches up to where they know, it's. I mean, he's 23 by the time. I mean, in May, I think it is, he turns 24, but he's healthy, and he pretty much he'll know the offense going into it. So, he did had an ACL his freshman year.
But he's got a year to fit too. Go ahead.
Yeah. But he's been in the system really well, and he knows the system. He knows the quarterback's coach, or he knows the offensive coordinator really well. So I just think that's work. That's a strong fit.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know why they wouldn't do that and prepare for the future, and at the same time get a good backup just in case something was to happen to Geno this season. Along with that, Pickle, I can't recall. Pete Carroll's stepping down. That's definitely going to cause some changes for Seattle, and it could cause some positive changes for these Carolina Panthers. We were able to get Nate Carroll on this staff,
right?
And he's got to have some ties to some of those players that may be ousted or leaving or don't fit the new offensive scheme. That could be a big score for us, Pickle. I'm looking forward maybe to something to pan out for us in free agency, even if it's just some depth pieces. I think that'd be well needed here in Carolina.
Oh, absolutely. You take a look at their guard. They've got it. Now, I'm not saying for them he was a starter. I'm not saying he's a starter here. But what this does, it will give you better depth than we've had. A Damian Lewis, not the defensive tackle Damian Lewis, who's now a coach. It will give us the guard Damian Lewis. He's really good. They also have Colby Parkins. Now they also have Noah Fant, a tight end, and they have Colby Parkins. Colby Parkins is the one that shut down Ryan Burns when we played him. He's the third string tight end, number 84, that completely shut down Brian Burns during when we played them. So
get him on my team.
Yeah, he's a guy. That we could pick up, and he's got some pretty good skill set. He's just stuck behind some.
I mean, he beat Burns 1-on-1, so I might want.
Yeah, exactly. Bring his ass on.
More than Brian Burns at this point in time. But, they're showing Nate Wiggins again on the broadcast, so they did. Bro, I think I'm falling more and more in love with the idea. Again, man, so Drew brought up trading up, trade Brian Burns out of there. And if you could get a player like a Nate Wiggins and have two shutdown corners in the form of Wiggins and J.C. Horn, come on, man, with the Giro Veros defense, that might be pretty nasty. That might be nasty.
It definitely would. I was telling Pickle last night that if we did have two man-to-man shut, and that's what Wiggins said, which isn't necessarily true. He said he wanted to be in the Avero offense where he could line up man-to-man. And knowing, good and well, Cody, that's not really what Avero did. We run a hybrid zone scheme where it's zoned this way on one side of the field and zoned a different way on the other side of the field to confuse the quarterback as more well reran. That's why DiCaprio, Brutal, Jameson, and these other guys were able to step into that role and still be effective because they didn't have to line up man-to-man down the field like we saw with Steve Wilkes that actually hurt us there trying to get into the playoffs. Rather than that, they just guard their area. and they were serviceable in that role. So that's what he said, that he wanted to line up man to man. But you think about that, if that opportunity does open up where we have the type of cornerbacks with a healthy J.C. Horn and adding the Wiggins on the other side, we could line up man to man, and it frees up our safety and our big nickel, which we know that Evero loves. And I wouldn't be surprised if we picked the big nickel in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round on a day 3 or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever, because we know Chen's walking. So that's something to look out for as well. But anyway, lining up man-to-man on the outside allows those other guys to sneak into coverages and get more interceptions and picks that this defense desperately needs. And I think that really could be a scenario we see play out if we do get that other lockdown corner, like you're saying, Cody.
Yeah, and Nate Wiggins said how much he loves that man-to-man spot. So it's like, I think that would be incredible for us. And
I want to see Cody's face if we ever drafted the Clemson player. I just want to see your face.
Baby, I'll be so fucking happy, dude. I'll be so happy, man. Give me a Clemson Tiger, baby. And that'd be cool if it was a corner too. So we would have that Clemson connection. We would have the rival schools at corner, Clemson, South Carolina. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a moron, but I like that type of shit. I mean, to be honest, I want all the best players from Carolina to come to Carolina. Like, I wish there was a way to get a Peyton Wilson on the team and to get like a Nate Wiggins or another Xavier Leggett, just keep that Carolina connection strong. Bro, you know who I would end up trading for to complement Brian Burns if we did keep him? Highsmith. Alexander Highsmith, the guy that Pittsburgh just paid. Bro, that would be a good one to punch, man. Even if we didn't have Brian Burns, just to have a guy like Highsmith from Charlotte, went to UNC Charlotte, over 15 sacks 1 year.
Yeah.
Crazy. Hey, Cody, you know who we do need to draft from Clemson this year? We could draft Jermaine Trotter.
Yeah, Jeremiah Trotter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, Jeremiah Trotter. Dude, he's another instinctual linebacker that just knows where to be playing that inside linebacker position. We have to come away with one. Is it outlandish for me to say that the Panthers have to come away with a linebacker even more so than a wide receiver? Like, I really feel that way at this point.
I believe that. I believe that. If you pull up over the cap, or not over the cap, if you put our lads and you actually, I like our lads quite a bit. They actually, if you pull that
I've been using them
website up, folks, they're what you see in gold. The names that are highlighted in gold, those are the unrestricted free agents. It's easy to see who's going to become free agents in like a couple weeks. Y'all do know free agency starts in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
So we have a lot less time to get things done than some think. So then you'll see the offense has a grand total of 5 players. And Dee's mentioned this earlier. They have a total of 5 players hitting into free agency.
Are they worth a damn?
No, the Chark, LaVista Chenault, and 3 old offensive linemen.
Yeah, then who cares?
So they're nothing really. The defense has 15 players heading into free agency. 15 whole players.
And you know what this brings up too, because Cody brought up a good point. We do need a middle linebacker. It's about time we get a middle linebacker that can play pass coverage like Luke Kuechly did, because that's what Shaq lacks the most. He's a great downhill guy. Same with Luvu. But when it comes to sitting in the middle of the field and guarding it, we haven't had that presence. And that's why sometimes a lot of teams have hurt us over the past couple of years, just throwing slants in the middle of the field on 3rd down, just attacking the seams, because we don't have any linebackers there that really scare anyone right now.
Yeah, we definitely need a linebacker that can cover.
Yeah, 100%.
We haven't had one of those in a long time. Dude, but this Peyton Wilson guy, that might be the pick. because I could see him fall. Like, do y'all think that he played his way, or not played this way, but maybe performed at the combine good enough that maybe he is?
That's what I'm scared about. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe that injury history benefits us now, because maybe that does cause some people to be like, well, I don't know about, I mean, I do know what does suck, though, the fact that whoever we do pick, we're not going to be able to pick up a fifth-year option on him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's tough. Well, I guess that means you got to throw his ass on the field out earlier and see what we got in him.
But you can also argue, though, it's going to make the player want to, show his all because his contract's going to be up sooner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's going to be wanting to play for his next contract more.
So, Pickles, so Terrence Marshall Jr. is still under contract, but do we honestly think that he's even going to get another? I mean, he's already been shut out by the last two regimes. Do you think? I think they may just honestly cut him. To be honest,
you might be right. Yeah, you can look at that list of 5 players and you can add to it. I've looked and I'd say, all right, Terrence Marshall's probably gone anyway. If Adam Thielen may be traded or he may not. I mean, you could go on to it. You say, well, Ricky Lee wasn't really crap anyway. He's just a backup. Chandler Zavala sucks so bad. If he has a bad OTA, I'd cut him. I mean, I could go through the whole list myself and tell you. Austin Corbett saves us a bundle of money by cutting him. I would consider cutting him depending on how his rehab went. And Ian Thomas goes without saying I'd cut him. I would actually, it's going to hurt our cap, but I would probably release Hayden Hurst just because of his injury issue alone.
Well, I don't think that we're going to release Hayden or Miles Sanders, but
they may not.
We're probably going to end up, we might end up getting dinged for this, but I just saw
Is it about Nicole Tepper?
Yeah, man. So
I watched this.
This is Adam Schefter talking to, I think, the Barstool boys about Nicole Tepper. Well, you'll see.
If you're the Panthers and you made that trade, and
it's bad.
And
it's bad.
It makes, I like to tease the owner.
I do too.
His wife was a big CJ Stroud person.
Oh,
is she really? She liked CJ Stroud.
Okay.
Add fuel to the fire that Nicole Tepper was right all along. Damn it, I will tolerate no Nicole Tepper slander anymore. No more bad words for Nicole Tepper. Bro, what do y'all think about this? Is there any weight to this? Did David Tepper overrule everyone, including Mrs. Tepper, to get his dream 5'10" quarterback? Is that what we're talking about now?
If that's the case, then David needs to quit his job and sell the team to Nicole Tepper, honestly. She knows more about football than him.
Being pretty good with his evaluation at the time. I'm just saying, though.
Oh, no. Just a minute. Y'all don't ignore the names in the chat, or some people won't be chatting in the chat no more today. Cut out the names. You used to be name calling.
Yeah. If y'all are name calling, you'll get timed out. Don't act like a hoe. But nah, man, dude, that's just crazy to me, man. What do y'all think about that?
Yep. Yeah,
I think it's like both quarterbacks.
It's not surprising at all. But it's really not. I don't unless it happens. I'd say 5 or unless it happens. Let me put it this way: back in COVID year, we went through the draft and things. And things were a lot different. We all know that. And I really found it interesting. John Fox and all the folks from the 2003 Super Bowl. Showed up on a chat. They did a YouTube show, and you really found out different things. I found out by a mission from him. John Fox himself said, "We never scouted Jimmy Clausen at all. We didn't think he was going to be there. Yeah. We didn't attend none of his pro days. We didn't even look at him. And when he was there, it was Marty who wanted to go get him because Marty had been told that he was good. And he was supposed to go in the first round.
That division
it was all Marty.
between a GM and head coach, it's never good, man. Hey, let me real quick. Let me welcome Christian Hunt to the Friday Free for All. What's up, dude?
What's up, gentlemen? It's been a while, but you done fucking touched my funny bone with that shit.
Oh, let's go.
I am so fucking tired of these fucking quote unquote experts trying to do hindsight 2020 on this Bryce Young shit. They were all fucking gargling his goddamn balls the entire offseason. It pisses me off.
They were. They were.
But now they want to fucking backtrack and be like, whoa, you know, they want to fucking criticize this shit. I didn't like the fucking pick anyway. I hated him. I still hate him. Well, he does wear a Panthers jersey. I'm trying, guys. Right. But for these fuckers to sit here and my dog's over here wondering if I'm okay because I'm getting all fired up. For these fuckers, you guys have heard it. They're all fucking acting like, well, they made a bad choice. Shut the fuck up. I didn't hear anyone before the draft talking down on Bryce Young except for Chris Sims and stupid little fuckheads like me. And of course, Greg said shit too. What's that guy's name? The guy with
Greg was the same way. I was on Team Stroud. I feel like I have enough people to do
I was too, Cody.
But listen, hold on. There's he brings up a good point. Yes, we all know what the talk about Bryce Young was before the pre-draft, but also someone tweeted this out today, and I think this is the right answer to this. I think that Adam Schefter is just spewing out bullshit to make the Teppers look like less of idiots than they are. I honestly think that's what it is. I think he's done this before with certain situations. I'll have to pull up the tweet to what exactly this guy said, but he pretty much said that now that they're switching their tone later just to make the pick not look less stupid than it actually is. It goes against anything David Tepper's done. He'll fire someone, but regardless, all the decisions made in that situation were from him. He just doesn't want to look like an idiot. So that's just my take on it. I could be wrong, but I'll have to find that tweet and pull it up and send it to you guys.
Well,
we also got. Go ahead, Peyton.
I'm sorry, Jake. That's what I was trying to say earlier, and I got sidetracked. But it wasn't until the COVID year we found out what really happened in some of the situations early on. And this is a situation we may never know what is going to happen or what really happened until somebody writes a book or somebody dies or the truth slips out in an interview somewhere when they're all old and retired. Well, we may never know that. We may never know the real truth. And it's sad, but it's also par for the course of the NFL. Regardless, the owner always takes the blame. That's par for the course. The coaches and GMs get fired, and the owner takes the blame and keeps his team. That's how it's always been, and it always will be. And it's not the only one. This week, we found out that the new coach of the new owner of the Commanders is right smack dab involved in the quarterback search. He was involved in the head coach search. He's involved in the quarterback search. He's right now forcing himself in every facet of the goings on in that organization. Jed York, the owner of the 49ers, did that exact thing until they hired Kyle Shanahan. And the same organization that told Tepper to go take a back seat had to tell him, Jed York, to go take the same organization, had to go tell Jed York to go take a back seat. Jed York did, just like Tepper's reportedly doing. Everybody, these owners have to evolve, just like coaches, just like players, just like GMs. Fans don't want to hear that. They expect the owner to come in and know exactly what everybody that's been an owner for 40 years knows. It just don't happen that way.
What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, Cody? What's up, Pickle? What's up, D's?
What's up, Al?
JJ,
What's up, Al?
And Anthony.
What up, dude?
Not much, bro. I give the Commanders a much better chance because the owner, he has a track record of rebuilding franchises. He rebuilt the 76ers. He rebuilt a hockey team. He rebuilt a baseball team. So
yeah.
I give him a better
and
track
Tepper
record.
Tepper bought old bosses' houses and demolished them. So
Yeah, pretty did.
no offense. I've heard all that shit before. I'm over all that. So I'd really, to be honest, maybe the Commanders owner is different. I don't know. I won't believe it until I see it. So.
Well, to your point, Pickwick, the daggum Browns owner did the same thing, and the Browns fans were complaining about the same thing we are. They're too hands-on. But once the team got somewhat decent, that owner was able to step away, and hopefully we're close to that point here in Carolina. It might be a couple years still, and I feel like we're going to complain about Tepper for a few more years yet to go before we feel like he really is hands off. But to the joke earlier about Nicole, like I really feel like Dave Canellis should have selected her to be the offensive line coach. I mean, we know she attends practice, she's attentive, she's aware of the situation on the offensive line. I don't know about her evaluation or coaching abilities, but she shows up and she keeps pounding. God dang it.
Well, to talk about what Aldous Saylor was saying, is I give Washington a better chance at hitting on this for no other reason other than the candidates they have to choose from, in my own personal opinion, are way fucking better than whatever I saw at a Bryce out of college. I never saw it transitioning, but I can see Jaden Daniels. I think he's the true number one. I haven't watched a whole lot of film, but dude, that guy looks so fucking smooth.
He's dynamic.
Oh,
he's dynamic, man.
I didn't even watch a lot of LSU shit. I put on some tape, and I'm kind of in awe. Like, I did not know this kid.
He reminds me of Lamar Jackson, except Jaden Daniels had better stats as a passer than Lamar Jackson did.
And he looks
like they both won the Heisman. They both won the Heisman.
He looks way better as a pure passer, too. But I think he's better than Caleb Williams, personally. I was a big fan of Drake May as well. But, he kind of did falter towards the end of the season. Like, I didn't see that fucking heart in him. But I don't know. I can't say too much more because I haven't watched a bunch of film. But all I'm saying is that I think it's going to be very hard for them to miss on the number one QB or whoever fucking they pick. Whoever the top 3 QBs pick. Washington, Chicago, who knows?
You can't underestimate the amount of time that these kids have the amount of games that these kids have seen in college, the Bo Nixes and the Daniels, they're playing 4 or 5 years, Penix. They've seen different coverages. They've seen different schemes and stuff. And they got game reps, I mean, Penix a little bit because he was hurt, but Jaden Daniels really wasn't hurt. Bo Nix really wasn't hurt. And so they're getting game reps, and it helps. That's like your boy from San Francisco. He got a lot of game reps. He was a 4-year starter or whatever he was.
Oh,
I mean, Cody,
yeah. No, you're not wrong. Yeah, that's true.
You also got to argue.
Jaden Daniels. Go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say, sometimes, man, you got to worry that it's all about team fit, too, man. So just because a quarterback was good in college don't mean he has to go to the right team. He has to be developed right. Some of these quarterbacks coming out can't be thrown to the fire. I mean, look at Zach Wilson. You can say Sam Darnold. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that's gone in the first round, and they go to a team that they don't really fit there, and they get ruined.
Yeah. It don't take long, neither. That's why I was worried about those sacks that Bryce took last year. He definitely regressed, Jake. And, Christian, to your point, talk about Jaden Daniels. You brought up Chris Sims. Chris Sims has got Jaden Daniels right behind Williams and ahead of Drake May. He said Drake May may fall maybe even out of the top 10. And to Al's point, I kind of feel like Bo Nix is kind of my dark horse quarterback. I feel like he could land somewhere and then maybe the starter get hurt and then he step up and prove something this year. Him and McCarthy too. I just don't know what to expect out of Nix or McCarthy in the draft, but I do feel like they might be able to do something this upcoming season. I agree with you guys.
I'm not again, this is just first initial gut reactions from the college season, but I'm not a big fan of JJ McCarthy or Bo Nix. However, I could see someone like Bo Nix really fucking, wowing some people if he's in a system like use like a Bryce Young or not Bryce Young. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm playing a video game right now.
You're good.
If he's put in Denver with with the same kind of system Drew Brees was in.
Yeah. I mean, I think that those point guards are valuable. someone that can run a system well, like Drew Brees getting the ball out of his hand quick, that's coveted. Don't let anyone make you think it isn't. And I think that's why JJ McCarthy is getting a lot of talk. We were talking about him earlier for a reason. Yeah, he's that type of point guard, type of quarterback too, and that's valued. So I don't know what y'all think. I think 5, maybe even 6 quarterbacks could.
I think we shouldn't use that term point guard as a quarterback, man.
Okay.
Just be a quarterback.
No, you're right. It's not a great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's Steph Curry, man. He's Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's
I don't want to hear that
awesome.
no more, bro.
Yeah, that got low.
That will be a point guard.
But Denver is looking for a quarterback. So JJ could go to him. Bo Nix could go to him. You never know. What pick they got? They probably got around like 12 or 13 or something, somewhere around there. So you never know.
Yep.
They might take one of them.
But what the fuck is y'all fighting about in the chat, man? Y'all be fighting about dumb shit.
Squabbling in the chat.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, I'm gonna let them know,
They
man. Just stop calling people's names, man. Y'all can talk about Panthers without fighting and shit, man.
I mean,
some grown ass adults. I gotta tell them, act like adults.
I mean, it is the Friday.
Caps lock. Caps lock.
Yeah, true.
You're right.
That's why Cody is the unsung hero, always babysitting every Friday night.
I mean, it's kind of what I do best. I'm a glorified babysitter at this point, But hey, man, I don't mind babysitting Panther fans, because at least we can talk about something together.
True.
Now, Jaden Daniels, I think there's a lot of people that are going to think Jaden Daniels might be the number 2 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll tell you what they're already going to say about him. Apparently, the ball velocity was only like 50-something miles an hour, which you apparently want it to be above 60-something miles an hour. I don't know if that is or isn't true. All I know is if you look at the man's film, the eyes don't lie. That man can make people miss. He can run away from you, and he'll push the football downfield. In fact, I feel more saying he probably has more talent than, not more overall talent, but more arm talent than Bryce. Yeah, I think that's pretty easy to say. I
was reading that he was the best deep
pass in the whole
draft. I was reading that he was the best deep pass in the whole draft. The best deep ball throw in the whole draft.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, the guy won the Heisman. He's not, chopped liver. He's no joke, man. He's a real deal. He was making other college players look bad out there. I just think he's one of those guys, if you put him in the wrong system, then he looks really bad. But if you put him in the right system, then he looks really good. So it just I think it was Al was pointing out, man, it just depends on where you go. You put him in the wrong scheme and the guy's a bust, but he doesn't have to be. You put him in the right scheme, the guy could be a superstar. I believe in him. I only got to watch a couple LSU games this past season, but boy, the couple I did, he lit it up the entire game.
Yeah. Bro, that's some. It'll be fun to watch, man. So also, I'm thinking about what time I'm gonna go live tomorrow. Would y'all enjoy that if I did a stream tomorrow during the wide receivers and quarterbacks?
Yep.
Y'all would want to come hang out?
I'll be there.
I'll probably show it too. I'll actually have it on the stream, and then I'll just delete the stream after. I don't know if I'll go live at 1. Maybe I'll do it just to get the viewers, and if y'all want to hang. I know Pickle don't get off till around 3 or 4, but yeah, I can go live tomorrow if y'all want to come and kick it and hang out and watch these wide receivers and quarterbacks do what they do. We were talking earlier, me and Pickle, about what quarterbacks are actually going to participate tomorrow, who's participating in what. I don't think Caleb Williams or Drake May is throwing the football.
Daniels isn't throwing either. He said he wants to throw his pro day for his teammates.
Damn, man. I hate that shit, man.
I hate that shit too,
They
bro.
need the ball, man. Go to the combine. You only do this shit once. Are you that afraid of getting hurt? Bro, like you play football for a living, man. Like, I don't know.
Is it true that Caleb Williams didn't show his medical records to the combine people, whatever? I saw some article about.
Someone said something like that. Pickle, is that what you said? Nothing, is that true? I don't know what's real.
It's true. It's true. He ain't show nothing, bro. He ain't do nothing.
Yeah, he ain't doing anything.
Cody, to me, Cody, this brings up an important debate, and I would like to know how the people in the chat and how the people on the panel feel about this. Do you feel like the best players in college football should bow down to the NFL immediately and adhere to all the rules and all the tradition of the NFL? Or should they say, I've got 4 years of tape, or I've got 3 years of tape out there. You can see what kind of player I am, and there's no need for me to go through all this rigmarole that you're asking me to do. I'm ready to be an NFL player. I was ready to be an NFL player last year. Let's go ahead and get me in the draft and let me get started. And don't make me do all this extra stuff to prove myself that I've already proved my body of work. How do you feel?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't think that any of these college quarterbacks have proven anything other than to be really good college quarterbacks. And we know how that goes. A lot of really good players are really good college quarterbacks, and then it just doesn't translate to the NFL. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't love it when guys aren't willing to go out there and compete.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to help my draft stock.
Exactly.
I see what Deez is saying.
I'm gonna be a man and compete.
Wait, go compete. Yeah, I feel like that too. Go compete.
Did it bother y'all that Bryce Young didn't run like the 40 and stuff, Al? Right back to you.
Not the 40.
No,
it bothered me 40, that he didn't throw.
Just throwing the ball in. Yeah, throwing the ball and just throwing the ball to the receivers.
Cody,
and
check
like
your private chat.
I mean, not running a 40. Like, I don't care. I mean, I know he's slow. He looks slow. I know he's gonna be slow, but
right.
He's slow and bad too.
If they're a quarterback, they should throw, is what you're saying. If they're a running back, they should run the 40, something like that. But they don't have to adhere to all the things the NFL wants them to do, like the physicals and stuff. Like, I don't know. If it was me personally, I might have a problem with the NFL trying to go through all my medical history. I could see where a player's coming from on some of it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my opinion would be that I kind of understand more if someone bows out of the 40 time, just because I think it's more strenuous in some of these drills. But I don't think throwing the ball or running cone drills, like if you get injured there, then I think a team that's about to invest millions and a lot of publicity. There's a lot that goes into these fucking draft picks that, well, I guess if nothing else, like they need to get it straight, because I think a lot of them have their heads up their asses. But yeah, if I just want to see someone compete for the most part and not shy away from it. That's my thing. I mean, my personal opinion.
So is Marvin Harrison Jr. less of a wide receiver because he chose not to even talk to the media during this combine? I mean, do you think of any less of him because he chose not to do that? Or do you think that he's got a point in saying that he's a generational talent? Well, he didn't say that. I'm sorry. We said that. The fans said that he was a generational talent and he didn't need to participate in these things. We know he's going to be drafted high. That's just my point, because, Harrison is that type of player where he's like, I'm good enough. I don't need to work on my 40 time. I don't need to practice sprinting. I need to practice football. And Dan Morgan's talking about looking for dogs and guys that are good at playing football. Do we feel like some of these exercises and drills they do at the combine are unnecessary and unfocused on football? That's just kind of the core of the argument I'm getting at, Christian.
Right. No, yeah, I hear you. And I think you make a great point. But I think maybe there's a little bit of a threshold of, if there's competition for the number 1 and number 2, whereas Marvin Harrison, I don't think there's a lot of competition that he's number 1, but it is a little bit hypocritical, and I get that. I really don't know. I can't judge too much, but I can say that yeah, if the Panthers are up there, I would kind of think some kind of way about. Wait a second, you don't think you need to talk to the media for Christ's sake? Why not? I want to understand that.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't want to. I mean, in today's day and age, I mean, what does it matter if someone doesn't want to talk to the media? Who gives a shit?
Well, I will say about the medical thing though.
And by the way, welcome my boy Stratch to the Free for All Stratch.
The medical thing is kind of alarming though. Also, the medical thing is a little alarming to me though. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say because you're probably trying to hide an injury or something like that. Like, what if a dude has like a major injury and he doesn't show his medical records and he gets drafted, then it goes to his team? Like, oh, wait a minute, you got this injury you didn't report? Like that's a little bit of a scratcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a confuser. I don't know, man, but at the same time, I don't think it drops his, like the dude's still going to be a top pick. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
there's really nothing that could be done. Like that dude is, he's talked about like his Jamar Chase. I mean, he's not built like a Julio Jones or nothing like that, but I mean, come on, he's got the pedigree, he's got the film. The dude can do it all. So maybe if you don't want to take interviews, then maybe if you're Marvin Harrison, you can do that. And I do think it is dependent on what type of prospect you are. You know what I mean? Like if you're a Marvin Harrison, you can afford to. But some of these other guys, this might, what's that saying? You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Well, this is that. This is going to be your first impression to a lot of different teams and a lot of different fan bases as well. So, yeah.
Well, in the same way that first impression. Go ahead, Al. I'll get in after you.
I was just going to say real quick. I think he doesn't really. I think he probably already knows he's going like top 5, so he's probably okay wherever he goes in top 5. So I really don't think he's worried about that.
Did he do interviews at Ohio State?
I mean,
yeah, I've seen him do some interviews.
Huh.
I don't care about him talking to the media. I'm saying, like, is he talking to the teams and such? Like, I don't care about him talking to the media. Who cares about the media? Is he doing the interviews behind the scenes with the teams and going in with his coaches and stuff like that? Like, I don't care about the media. Who cares about the media? But
right, that was the point I was going to bring up, Al. Like, does it make you feel like that if he doesn't talk to the media, then he's like a bad soldier and he's not a team player and he's only looking out for himself and things like that? That's kind of the narrative that gets thrown around. Not that anybody has come out and said that per se, because we all know Harrison's going to be amazing. But could you see it that way, that maybe this guy isn't a team player because he didn't want to participate in all these other things that, like, these 3rd round draft picks, 4th round draft picks, they're busting their butt to do their best on? You know what I mean? And he's just like, well, I don't have to.
I guess it also depends his reason too.
Yeah, his motivation.
Like, also, if he's going to end up going on all these different visits too, like, y'all remember the story of Deion Sanders, that apparently he had met with a bunch of other teams that were picking like 12 or whatever, and they wanted Deion to learn part of the playbook. And he showed up. He's like, bro, I didn't learn that shit. I'm not falling that far. Why would I learn this? So maybe this is one of those scenarios that he figures, well, when it's time for me to go to do my in-person interviews, that's when I'll talk to them.
Yeah, I know it sounds kind of funny, but he also comes from money, so he may not. I mean, I know it sounds kind of woo-woo, but what if he's thinking to himself, I don't care if I fall a little bit. I want to go to a team that has a better chance of winning. Team. And I don't know. I do think, I know it sounds crazy, but dude, there's always some weird shit that goes on during draft time. Like these fucking S2 scores gets leaked. Like, little teams do little things, and I think sometimes players do things to try and get to the team that they want to go to if they can, because they're basically signed 1st round picks. They're almost signed to life for a team if a team doesn't want to let them go.
Yeah.
And in that same regard, like, if you don't pick an agent, Christian, and you just represent yourself, and then you get drafted on draft night, and you don't like the team you're going to, can you be like, nah, I'm good, I'm just going to go back to my college? Like, Why couldn't you do that? And if an elite player really bucked the system, we saw some things like Caleb Williams wanted part ownership in the team that he went to. We saw some wild stuff come out from Caleb. Like, what if a player was to do something like that? Would it break the NFL system and the channels they already have in place, in your opinion?
Nothing's going to break the NFL system.
I mean, Eli Manning did it. I mean, Eli Manning refused to play for the Chargers. So, I mean, it happens, bro.
Well, isn't there a rule that a player cannot own an NFL team if they're currently playing or even a part of? I'm pretty sure there's a rule that you can't own a team, a part of a team.
Yes,
as long as
you
you're
are
playing.
correct, Jake. It's against NFL rules that you cannot own it. It's like an NFL owner can't own an NBA team. That's just
Why are we talking about this? Because do you understand how far-fetched that shit sounds? That's not happening.
Because somebody brought it up.
Well, get it out of your mind, because it ain't going to be a thing.
What? That's what we do on Friday. We always talk about shit that don't matter on Friday. I mean, hell, far.
The Commanders owner owns the 76ers. What do you mean he can't own another team? The Commanders owner owns the 76ers.
No, it's not.
See, I don't know. I don't know
players.
about none of that shit though. If any of that shit's
He does though. I'll tell you he does. I know he does. He does.
Yeah. Al, you know so much about so many things. It's a wonder you ain't president of the United. You probably are president. You probably Joe Biden in secret.
Hey, Al, I would vote
for you. Look at Pickle being a smart ass. I got you, Pickle.
Yeah, I would. Hey, I would vote for you, Al. I'm not even being.
I ain't voting for your ass, Al. I'll tell you straight up.
I ain't damn, you hate that.
Damn, Pickle.
Hey, hang on. Let me ask my boy Strats. Let me ask my boy Strats that is in here. What position are you thinking the Panthers are going to be looking to draft at 33? Is linebacker more of an option now, you think?
I was thinking we'd probably go punter, don't you?
No, I mean, you know what? I thought about it for a brief moment, and then I'm like, well, we do have Johnny Hecker. So maybe I would say maybe let's hold off until the third round before we go punter.
Of course. No, I think I genuinely, I'm not going to pretend to. The past 2 weeks have been very busy with work, so I've been checking in here and there, and I've been seeing a couple things, but I haven't been following it as much as I normally do. I will say, Pickle. I think I don't know if Pickle changed his viewpoint since the last time I talked to him, but the viewpoint he had of not going in on a wide, wasn't it? Didn't you want to get an O line? Or did you change that?
Yeah, I still don't think we need to draft a wide receiver with a 33rd pick. I think there's other needs available. I just think that everybody zooms in on wide receiver and they fail to realize there's other needs that are there. Well, and some of the other needs are you get a better player than you would. In a lot of ways, you draft a best available wide receiver. He may be a good, decent wide receiver, but you're going to leave a Hall of Fame offensive lineman or defensive lineman or linebacker to go later in the draft because you're worried about that one position. That's my problem. That's my issue.
Well, listen, the offensive and defensive line is the foundation to the house being built. If you do not have a good one, you can't. I mean, your foundation is going to crumble. It's not going to. It doesn't matter how pretty your house looks, but if your foundation is crap, it's that's not going to be fun. So, I think O-line. I mean, why not? But who's the pick on that, anyways? I'm sure you guys already hashed this out at length.
Well, no, we didn't. I mean, if you're talking trenches, I mean, Braden Fisk is somebody who looked really good. But again, he's one of the bigger names that kind of did something at the combine. So maybe he played himself outside of the second round. Who knows? Offensive lineman, I don't know. We looked at the center from Oregon earlier. Pickle showed him to me, but I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not really big on any one of the O linemen or D linemen. I know, like I said, Pickle had a few of them. There have been a couple guys on here. And in the chat room that suggested some names. But man, I'm gonna be honest, I'm really kind of I think after today, I'm almost more sold on the idea of taking a corner if a good one is available. Either a corner or a linebacker. I would be happy with either of those positions.
We had Cam
that's
Smith
Avonte.
that we could have taken last year in our second round pick, and we wasted.
That's Avonte Sweat ran a sub 540. He ran like a 4.8 or 4.9 or something at 366 pounds, bro. That's crazy. It's a big ass dude, bro. He's moving.
He is, but we can't lose sight of the fact that, like, I feel like they say this every year. The combine is a set of obstacles, effectively. Whether, I mean, I'm not like literally an obstacle course, but you know what I mean. Like there's things that you have to do there that some of it, like none of it really. It's not playing an NFL game, you know. Like it's not. Some of the events are even like okay, so you can jump really far. Like what value is?
It shows explosiveness.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult to look at everyone in the draft, and some of them, I guess, go to the combine. Some of them, I guess, maybe they opt out or whatever it is, or can't go. But at the end of the day, I sound like Rule. When you look at all these players in this circumstance like this, you can't really. It's not a fair comparison. I don't think you can literally look at anyone out of this and say, "Oh yeah, this person's going to be fantastic in the NFL." You can't know that until you see him play on a team, and even then, that's not a great thing because then you saw Baker go to the Browns, and he performed all right for a year or two, and then now he's, and then he had some down rounds, and so it's very difficult to honestly judge in the combine, and even after the draft, and even through the first 3 preseason games, you really don't get a good sense. Even the first year, look at this. Bryce played a whole year.
Yeah. And you know what? Something that I think you would like too, Strats. I was watching a video the other day, and they were talking about like the all-time best performances from the combine. Like the guys that nailed their 40-yard dash, they nailed the bench press, the 3-cone drill, all that shit, right? And the top 3 performers all time in those position groups. One of them was Lane Johnson, who's still playing, and the other 2 are not even in the NFL anymore. So just because you have a great combine, that does not equal that you're gonna have any modicum of success in the NFL.
Wasn't there a dude one year that specifically trained for the combine to like max out like everything possible, or not max it out, but like trained hard for it?
lineman, right? Didn't it go to the Dolphins? I think this is like way back in the day or something.
You're talking about I think it's Marinovich or something with the Packers?
Yeah, maybe like one of those.
I can't remember the story in full.
I don't know.
They called him the
O-line
bulk.
What up, Kyle?
Yeah.
Hey man, how we doing, guys?
Charlotte Sports One in the building. What's up, dude?
Shit, man, just got off work, just got home. You know, that's my Friday vibes, man. Get off work, come into the show.
Sir. And shout out to like Tony Marich or something. Yeah, there was a dude he annihilated the combine. He jumped up into the first round, and he never did shit in the NFL.
But he was on steroids and all, dude.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, that's right.
Juice fucking heavy, bro. He was shooting the juice heavy.
Yeah,
bro.
he was on all the rules.
Well, right, but the point is still the same, that he excelled at the combine, and then he got to the NFL, and the it's not fully transferable credits. You know what I mean? Like,
I just think my boy Peyton Wilson, his credits are going to transfer.
Yeah. Hey, so Kyle, now that you're in here, man, what are you thinking about Peyton Wilson? Like that kind of seems like somebody that could be there for us, but it also just seems like the performances at the linebacker position, that group of guys did a good job, and now they're more in consideration at pick 33. Are you now more of the mindset that linebacker is looking more and more like the pick, or is it is that percentage moving up?
So a month ago, I was cool with drafting Peyton Wilson at 33. And I'm still going to stand on that. Like, I'm cool with it. I mean, even before someone started saying, oh, he's like Luke and he plays like that, I don't buy into that shit because Luke is one of one. but like,
true.
If I've seen his game film, and like in game speed, he's just as fast as when he was running the 40. He is a fast linebacker, and he's big. And, you know, I think his game would transition well, and I think he plays something that they like in Carolina. They like big, fast linebackers. I mean, that's what they always draft. So they draft big, fast corners, and they draft big, fast safeties.
Back when we actually drafted linebackers.
Well, yeah. But you know,
this is an interesting point. This is a very interesting point, because what you said was, and I agree with you, that we tend to draft a certain way. However, I think we can all agree that maybe in the past few years things have kind of shifted around in the dynamics of what we tend to draft. So, yeah, I mean, what do you think, if you had to guess who, I mean, and things are all up in the air, and they're even on draft day, stuff's going to change. But if you had to take a guess as to the position that they're probably aiming for, what do you think the Panther? What do you think Tepper and them are aiming for?
I think
I don't think there is a position.
I think they're going to try and buy the offense to 100%. I mean, why wouldn't they? With 30 extra cap space, they can sign Brian Burns, use the draft to draft defense like they've done. And, you know, because I think that you, like, face to face, you know what I mean? I think that you see more, quote, dogs on defense than you would offense. So, like, if that's what they're looking for, I kind of see them drafting defense heavy, which means that they're going to spend in the free agency to get the offense. So
Kyle, you think that they could go out and actually spend some good money on some good offensive players? Like, you think that's...
Well, we got an extra 30 like everybody else did, but I think that there's 25 or so, or if not 30 mils on our roster right now that we can free up to be able to go and spend. So at that point, we'll have what, like 84,
Yeah,
and then pre Brian Burns.
You got to be careful. I'm sorry.
Well, also the cap casualties too. Like, teams today have been cutting players and stuff like that. Like, we're going to be doing that in the next couple of days as well. So.
Well, yeah, but we're going to be picking up too, because can't you sign people that you cut that are cap casualties?
I think so.
Not until free agency.
Well, when
which is
that?
right around the corner. Which is right around the corner.
Yeah.
A couple weeks, literally, like the 11th or the 13th.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but you got to be careful making cap, because a lot of the best ways to make it cap is what the Saints do. They extend, or they put off. Yeah. They just put off. They give you bonus money. They put off. And I chatted with the guy from Over the Cap today on Twitter. My opinion is, I believe that Saints GM is going to keep doing that till he retires.
Probably.
And then when he retires, it's going to be somebody else's problem, not his. But if that's what the owner, because the Saints owner isn't very NFL educated. He kind of listens to whatever he tells them. See, she just listens. She just listens to whatever they tell her. So therefore,
you mean the owner?
You know, yes, the owner. The owner isn't very, I don't want to be disrespectful, NFL educated. So she just basically sits in her home. She owns the team, and if the GM or the president tell her here's what she needs to do, she says okay.
Hey,
now that being said, yeah. That's a by and large what Jerry Richardson used to do. Only difference is Jerry Richardson refused to fire a coach mid-season, and if he paid a coach, your ass is expecting that coach to be there at least to year 3 or 3.5, maybe 4 years.
Played football.
Well, yeah, he did, but that was like back before they had helmets, wasn't it?
No, I know, but like, you know, you get, I don't know. I mean, he knows.
Yeah. I do understand what you're saying. So I don't mean to disrespectful Jerry. So, but it's just when Jerry was a lot. I tried to make this point on Spaces. A lot of the older fans wanted a more of an active owner. We didn't want an owner like temper who's going to do everything. But we wanted an active. We wanted a little emotion. When something, I mean, you got to understand, Jared Richardson through the entire team, he'd sit there and go, "This is all his response." He made a touchdown, and he actually had people thrown out of Bank of America Stadium because they were cheering too loud.
He was the human embodiment of Grumpy Cat. Let's be honest and call it a spade.
Yes, you're exactly right. And when he decided to sell the team, I was happy. I'm not going to lie. I was
still remember when he was dabbing with Cam Newton in the locker, and that dude was.
And only Cam Newton brought that out, and that was the only time that he showed emotions that I could ever remember. But anyway,
Pickle, maybe this is a question for you. If you spoke to someone from over the cap, who are the likely targets to get cut? Are there any options with Taylor Moton, or do we just gotta pay him?
The only option you have with Taylor Moton is extension, which is going to push it farther down the road.
Yeah.
Or cut. That's the only two options you got. Or leave it like it is. I should say that. Leave it like you extend it, leave it like it is. Because next year, here's the point. Next year is the same exact thing. Next year, his cap is the same exact thing. That's the way that contract. Well, if you extend it, you're not. If you're extending it, all you're doing is pushing it back a later. Here's what they could do. They could totally re-sign him to a different contract, give him a 3 or 4 year deal that gives him a higher bonus and less cap number to relieve the cap
per year.
But that's where you stretch out to a 4 year deal, or you stretch from a 2 year deal to a 4 year deal. Next year, his cap number is the same exact year it is this year. Dante Jackson, I believe Dante Jackson is going to be cut. But it's going to be a June 1st cut. Or they could just wait till June and cut him. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Right now we got $35 million available on cap. If we wanted to free up a bunch of cap, they have their ways of doing it. But some of these ways are very unpopular with a lot of people. For example, Austin Corbett. If you wanted to cut Austin Corbett with the June 1st cut, it will save you $3 million. You can cut Xavier Woods right now and save you money. Okay, that's just fact of it.
Yeah, but is it saving just for the purpose of saving?
Well,
like if there's not a goal in mind, then I'm not interested in doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can doubt Austin Corbett's ability to stay healthy, but that also doesn't mean that it's the best move to take him out just because he got hurt last year or he was hurt whenever, you know. And, so it's different if we're talking about Taylor Moton and Dante Jackson, who I feel like a lot of fans have had the mindset of, okay, thanks for your time. But with Moton, let's either move on before it's let's be a little bit early before we're a little bit too late.
And a lot of what I'm trying to say, and I should say it in a better way. If they needed cap, that's one thing. But I'm against just doing it like I would Madden. Just make a bunch of cap for the hell of it. Okay, there's actually NFL rules that you have to use so much of your cap.
Right. Isn't it fancy accounting effectively, but not? But you're focused on the NFL rule set of how they, so. And I always thought that maybe this is a bad time to bring this up, but I'm curious now because the topic is here. Cody, Kyle, Pickle, Christian, Anthony's here still, Al, what are your thoughts on all of that? As far as, to me, I really feel like it's not gimmicky it's not the right word, but I feel like a lot of emphasis sometimes is placed on the cap, but really, like I said, I feel like it's just fancy accounting, and you can kind of restructure the deals a little bit so that it just fit inside the confines.
Yeah, it is.
There's definitely it's definitely like very fraudulent. But here's my thing: if it was fully that way, then every team would be able to just take advantage of it, and that's why every year
Some accountants are better than others, Anthony.
Well, yeah, but it's just number manipulation.
That's why you only see a good team and a bad team. Like, not everyone's good because of that. It is accountant manipulation, and we've just had shitty accountants that have been hired and gone to shitty schools, if you want to put it that way.
It literally is
Ben
an
Affleck.
accountant
You
manipulation.
need to hire Ben Affleck's retarded ass. You ever seen that movie? Ben Affleck. You need to hire that motherfucker.
Yeah, Affleck's a joke.
I'm
in
just
real
saying,
life.
you put
Affleck's
this
not
amount
worth
of number and you show everybody that this is the number that you're allowed to spend. It's underwritten in the contracts, and that this, that, and the third, that it's portrayed as this amount is what we're saying that we're paying you, but really it's this. Like, it's just contract manipulation. Thanks to it all the time.
That's a lot of, you see a lot of players have their contracts restructured. Well, most every player, when they sign a contract, it's detailed in there that the team has the legal ability to restructure their contract any way they want at any time they want.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the question is, if you look at Taylor Motrin and you look, he's 30 years old. If you restructure his contract to push it farther down the line, you have to basically add in some more years. How many times do you want to do that?
This is
You're going to do that. I mean, or the possibility of just keep it like it is. If you need to restructure it, it's there. If you don't need to, you don't mess with it. And then you can decide later this year as he's playing if you want to keep him around or not. If you do the restructure, you're stuck with him.
Right now, his number is 56 with 28 and 28. So
yeah, I mean, that's a question though. He's going to make 30 million, basically 30 million per season this year and next. Now, you calculate that.
So
you calculate
that.
Some folks want to give Burns 30 million. Some folks want to go sign a wide receiver or trade for a wide receiver that's going to cost them 25 million, right? Add them two together and tell me. All right, now we're not even going to include in Derrick Brown's contract. Add all that in and tell me where your cap going.
So, Strats, what were you going to ask?
Oh, I don't even know if I was going to ask. I was going to suggest a ridiculous premise for a second, just to spitball, just to get more clarity. Personally, I think this topic is absolutely fascinating because I don't hear a lot of depth on. You know how Cam came out like this year, and he's been a lot of the pro athletes have been doing their own podcasts, and they're sharing more details that like we never knew of back in the time. And this, maybe it's because this is a somewhat boring subject, but this is something that's not talked about often. It's not, I don't see experts that are doing this on teams or have done this on teams come out and talk about the complexities and the structure, like how it all works and everything. But there should be some room for, maybe not, there should be some wiggle room. Like why, like there's a rule set somewhere. And I would love to get, if anyone is listening, if you can find this, I would love to see I haven't even Googled it yet. Maybe it is that obvious, but the actual structure behind like the rule, the bylaws and the rules of the contract negotiations per team and all that kind of stuff with the cap. Because there's gotta be like what happens if you pay someone, I know this is the far-fetched part, Oreos. What happens if you pay them in Oreos? What currency, where are the bylaws and the structure behind the restrictions of, do you know what I mean? Am I kind of talking nonsense here?
I don't know, but you say you paid me in Oreos. I'm in for that right there.
Well,
so, I'm guessing Strats. I guess if I'm going to use your Oreo, I'll grab this if nobody minds. So to use your Oreo analogy here, if you pay Brian Burns 10 Oreos a season, right? So
10 truckloads of Oreos a season.
That's ridiculous.
I'm just saying,
he's only worth 5.
What do you know? Each one of those is a $10 million Oreo. Come on, you don't know. I'm just
10
saying.
truckloads.
Hey, no, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Right. So 10 is the point, right? So the contract is going to say that you're going to pay him 6.5, you know? So that's what you say you pay him. But the other 3.5 is based down in his contract incentives and all those other things.
Right.
You know, so that's how they manipulate the contract. That's just the part that we know about. Like there's much more.
Well, if you can point us in the right direction, I will happily invest time in researching.
I couldn't tell you. That's just, you know, what
Fuck, I just want to know what happens if Moton gets cut. Like, do we owe him the $30 million for 2 years, or I
could tell you that.
Yeah,
that's
the
why
easy
he's
part.
not going to get cut, and that's why also we're also in this whole strats. This is another reason that's been heavily overlooked. Yes, we picked up Sam's 5th-year option. We've done tons of dumb shit, but it's really because there's hella dead cap from DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey's contract. The 49ers aren't paying Christian McCaffrey anything. They can cut him at any time, and they will lose nothing against the cap. We're the ones that are basically paying his contract. That's
until next year, I think.
Yeah,
Wait, when does that come up?
But
still,
it was a dumb decision, and that's like $16 million against the cap.
Okay.
I agree fully, Anthony.
Yeah.
And that's why. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say
the
past GM was an idiot, and Dan Morgan is saying now, like, he's trying to get ahead of the game instead of putting ourselves in these holes down the line. Right. It's like Pickle, you're probably staring at it right now. We're a bad team. You would think we would have loads of cap space, like the Patriots have $100 million, like teams like that who can go out and sign players. But it's because Scott Fitter was a dumbass, and I know this personally. But that's all I gotta say.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's we're real quick. To cut factually, if you cut Taylor Moton on a June 1st cut this year, you'll save $5 million this year and next. Okay. If not, if you don't do the June 1st cut, you can keep him this year, and it'll and then next year, even without doing the June 1st cut, you can save $5 million. So the best option this team effectively has is find them a qualified right tackle in the draft for 1 year, and then cut Taylor Moton next year if you want to. But remember, he's only 31 years old. He's been relatively healthy his whole career. So you have to ask yourself, is it worthwhile to re-sign him to a longer-term deal or just let him walk? Because he's only
Cody,
31. He's going to go somewhere else and play for several more years, probably for at least 5 more years.
I don't know, man. So I used to think that I wanted to trade him, but now everyone's saying that, well, if you did, you'd have so much dead money on your hands. Like I used to want to, see if we can get something from him and maybe move off of that contract. But now it doesn't even seem like it frees up enough money to even make it worth it. So,
and I mean,
he's not a bad player. He's not a bad player, Cody. He's not a bad player, bro. He's not a bad player.
Hold on. Does anybody really want to re-sign him though? Like, I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Like to me,
dude, I would be fine.
But that's the same argument against Brian Burns. Why should we re-sign any of these players if we're in a rebuild?
I know, but that's not even an argument. Didn't they just sign Burns for? We signed him, did we not?
Who, Burns?
Yeah.
No, Burns not signed. He
didn't sign it?
No, he was wanting like 30. There was anyone at 30-something million.
And we offered 27, I thought.
Well, right, but now there's all types of rumors that the last 7 million was incentives, so it wasn't really 27 million. But
I'm telling you, I think Kyle's right. I think this front office is only going to be willing to spend big money on offensive players because that's probably their best shot at getting Bryce to see what he has.
Okay. I totally disagree that that's the logical extent. Because, okay. You can build this offense to have a Hall of Fame offense. But if you don't touch that defense, you still ain't worth a shit.
I still said we were going to draft. What he was saying earlier was that we were going to draft defensive players. That's what we're talking about here, Pickle. Like, you're okay. Kyle was bringing up dogs, and I get what he's saying. I agree with what he's saying. Dan Morgan's probably talking about defense. I'm just saying, think about it like this. Brian Burns would have a contract right now, but maybe Dan's like, I don't know if I want to invest big money in my defense right now when I can just draft rookie players on rookie deals for my defense. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm not saying let's ignore it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying fuck the defense. No. I get your whole point. No. The offense, all I'm saying is that maybe that's why we're hesitant to pay him, but honestly, I have no idea, man.
Because I've said this before. The biggest issue that I have is we have on cap related and the offense related. If we have so much money already poured into this offense, and they're paying big money to what I call garbage players. Adam Thayer is making $9.9 million. Shy Tuttle, he's defensive guy. He makes $8.3 million. Xavier Woods makes $7.7 million. I mean, Miles Sanders makes $7.6 million. Bradley Mosman makes $7.6 million. There's so much folks, and we all talk about Ian Thompson and Shaq Thompson. They make $6 million and something. Well, great day. We got old man Andy Dalton making $4 million. I mean, Dante Jackson makes $15 million. Von Bell. We paid $10 million for Von Bell, and he looked like shit. So, handing out bad contracts is the way we do.
That leads into exactly what Strats was talking about. These contracts and the cap number, they create data sets for the Panthers to push back on these agents against. That's why Ian Thomas got restructured. That's why Shaq Thompson took a team-friendly deal, because we say, hey, Bradley, bro, you gave up 8 sacks last season, and we're paying you top 10 center money in the league. But unfortunately, you finished 28th in the league in centers. So we can't continue to pay this. If you want to be a Carolina Panther, you're going to have to accept this deal. And that's what Brandon Tillis is going to do to this contract. And to the Taylor Moton discussion, I wanted to get this in. Sorry, it's a little late. I didn't want to step on y'all talking. But the Taylor Moton thing, do you think this is possible, Cody? Could Dave Canales do the same thing he did with Tristan Wirth? He took a good, solid right tackle, maybe one of the best in the league, moved him to left tackle to make his quarterback in Baker Mayfield feel better and more successful. And then wouldn't that open up the opportunity that you've been waiting on to put Iquanu at that guard position right beside Taylor Moton? Then you still got Brady Christensen. If his biceps are healthy, we can play him at right tackle, and then maybe everything's resolved on the offensive line. Like, that's what he did last year. Baker threw for 4,100 yards. The guy knows what he's doing. He was in Seattle with Dan Morgan for 7 years. He might just have a good idea there. How do you feel about that one, Cody?
No, I mean, I like that. Man, there's so many different ways to think about this. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I wanted to move Taylor Moton to left tackle a while ago, man. A while ago, I was, it was like the year that we paid him. I was really thinking about moving him to left tackle, because he did that one game against Dallas, and I felt like he did okay at that position. But then everybody was like, it's harder to play left if you've been playing right, and vice versa. They say it's like a wiping with your non-dominant hand, Now, I don't know. I personally don't. I believe that's kind of dependent on the player, if you know what I'm saying. But because I do think it is possible, other players have done it. But I don't know.
What week was it when he switched him?
This late in his career, moving him to left tackle might seem a little bit much.
We've tried to move him to left tackle before. He's played left tackle for a game or two for us.
And he wasn't terrible. Don't let anyone come in here and tell you that when Taylor Moton played left tackle, that he was bad at it. Because anyone who says that, that's not an accurate representation.
He wasn't bad at all.
But they were never committed to it, and that was the problem.
The rest of the line sucked ass. What did you expect?
Well, that's what I said. They were never committed to him at left tackle.
All right, but there's more to this too. Was that I didn't mean to cut you off, Anthony. Anthony, you go first because you were talking already. Let you go.
I want to bring up this point that Deez was just talking about. He just brought up something so smart that this is what I've been thinking about for a long time. All right, the reason we have to restructure these contracts is because we hand out gold mines after 1 year of play. No, that's not how it's supposed to work. Okay, Robbie Anderson doesn't deserve a contract after one season. Brian Burns, that's why we didn't pay him, because he slumped after one good season. Derrick Brown, you know why he's getting paid? He's done this 2 years in a row now. Same with Louvu.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm done paying players after one season.
Consistency.
Yeah, that's bullshit. It's a bullshit philosophy. Last thing I'll say is the Sam Darnold fifth-year option. What the fuck kind of logic is that?
Well, yeah, okay.
Snap yet.
Listen, we all can agree that the Panthers were poorly mismanaged leading into Tepper's ownership change and the first few years of coaching changes that he made. That's obvious. We know that. We all know that. We hash the shit out of that all year long. So we all get that part.
Yeah.
And
I was just bringing up a point, like in terms of what Deez is trying to explain about how why we don't have all the cap space we could right now is because we got to restructure, kick it down the road, and it's tough, man. It's tough.
They drove this thing into the damn ground. They drove it into the ground.
The horrible.
Yeah. Hey, hold on one second, Pickle. Let me. I want to welcome Be Good back onto the show. B, what's up?
What's going on there, everybody?
How you doing?
Congratulate me. It's my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What the worst part about that situation is going in is the voided gears that they've got. I just talked about Austin Corbett and use him for example. Austin Corbett's contract ends after this season. Okay. And he's going to make, it ends after 2024. He's going to make 10 point some million. Next year, or the next year after that, 2025, when he's likely off playing for another team, we're going to pay our cap. Our cap is still going to be charged $7.7 million for him.
Can't you negotiate
years behind contracts when the guys are not on our roster hurts our cap, and they are by and large all over the place on our team.
I'm going to ask you something.
There's a bunch of players that have it.
I want to ask you something, Pickle, but not from someone else actually want whoever's talking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, Strats was supposed to go after Ant the first time. So go ahead, Strats.
You go.
Now let's see if I can get my train of thought back. When you get a toddler running around, dude, I swear your brain just gets melted like halfway through the day, and you're like, I don't even know what I'm.
I'm gonna be real. I'm probably gonna go for like another 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll probably call it a night tonight.
Well, but I don't want to hog this. I don't want to hog this moment. You guys, someone else would just join the show. It's his birthday. You should have some say. I know you're trying to get in on the conversation anyway.
Be good. Talk to me, man. Give me your thoughts for the show, man. We kind of talked about everything and just anything you want to bring.
I got there. I mean, I missed a whole lot of it, so I didn't even really know what y'all talked about or anything. So I didn't want to be rude. You know what I'm saying? Talk about something y'all already did.
We talked.
Listen, free for us for whatever you want to talk about. Anything and everything.
You joined. You had something on your mind, right?
It's your birthday. Do your thing, brother.
Hey, shout out to Cam Newton taking responsibility. You know what I'm saying, for that whole incident that happened.
Yeah.
And shout out to what's that brand of hat he called it again, Minution or something like that. I forgot what he called it.
Did you see?
But man, I forgot what it is. It don't matter, man. I'm just really looking forward for the draft. The prospects for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Combine, see what we can see. And stuff like that. I mean, I feel we should keep Burns, but I feel like they're gonna trade him. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to, the money and stuff y'all was talking about, we made bad contracts. And two, I don't know which one of y'all said it. usually you want to pay your guys early so we don't have to be in this same situation that we in now. You know what I'm saying? Like the Burns situation. They would have paid them like 2 years, prior, then we'd have been good. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was me that was bringing that up, and then at the same time, I did say though, I'm not willing to just give someone a huge contract after one good season. Like when Robbie Anderson got paid, I was like, that's complete art. That's stupid. Like, so I like what they're doing now, though. We'll see what happens.
We've done that before. The Panthers, when they went to the Super Bowl, they had signed under Cam Newton. We had signed a left tackle to a 2-year deal. Well, he came from Tennessee, had injury issues in Tennessee. He came here. We said 2-year deal. Well, we went all the way to the Super Bowl. First thing David Gettleman does is give that man a 4-year deal. And I'm like, that's a stupid. He has another year left on his deal. Let him work that out and see if he can stay good for 2 years in a row. Oh, no, he didn't want to do that. Give him this nice, big, fat, glorious contract, and then he's out of football.
I mean, Pickle, I'll say one more. When we signed Jake Delhomme after that whole debacle when we was playing Arizona. That was the worst thing. I like, bro, he threw for like what, 4 or 5 kicks. Then you sign him still. That was the most head scratching thing I ever saw.
Yeah, and I have to give credit to Jerry Richardson. When that happened, he was in the hospital in heart surgery. And earlier I dissed a little bit, Jerry, but he had heart surgery, so it was obvious that he wasn't in charge, and he had his sons in charge. When he got out of the hospital, he got back to the stadium and saw that contract. He immediately fired his 2 sons. And it was clearly he was not happy with that contract. But they gave Jake that contract because there were 2 choices. Jake's cap was high. You either re-signed him, like people are talking about doing to Motrin. You either re-sign him or you let him walk. And Jake said on his podcast recently at that time, and he was understood that he was going to be released. He wasn't dumb. His agent told him that. He understood he would likely be released. And he was talking to his wife about retiring a Panther because he really didn't know if he wanted to play for another team. And when they called his agent to suggest that deal, he was like,
okay.
I guess. I mean,
y'all
know.
We all knew that was really his last year. Yeah. I mean, let's be real. The team was carrying him.
We could look, when he signed that deal, you could look at Jake and realize Jake knew what was going on. And everybody knew that the only reason why they did that cap management that year that way was Jerry was in the hospital and his sons took rough shot like they were hot to trot and knew everything. And they did their best David Tepper impressions ever.
Hey, Pick, let me bring this up.
For you guys. Go ahead.
So with all that said in mind, what we talked about for the last 10 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Even though some of these players will still hurt us against the dead cap, do we like Dante Jackson? Who cares? Might as well just cut him.
We should have cut him when the fucking documentary came out, and he was acting like a
we should have never resigned his ass.
Twat.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Pickle. I mean, he was always decent, not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he was decent, and he was always injury prone. He's always injured.
We ran this thing through the ringer. We brought this up. We talked about this. Like, do you remember the documentary, the Amazon thing that came out, whatever it was, 2017, 2018? Dante's in the room in episode like 4 or 5, whatever it is. And you got the defensive. It's not like the whole defensive crew. It's like Thomas Davis is there, like having a one-on-one with the dude. And he's acting like, I'm better than this. I don't want to be here. I don't even want to listen to you. Like, you can see it on his face. From that fucking moment, I was like, get off this team, bro. I don't want you here.
Well, he was a rookie then. We couldn't have cut him then. it was his first season, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now it's like I just don't have any real relationship with any of these players because at this point there's just been too many bad moves. We're gonna be eating dead money no matter what. We might as well just say like whatever and let it go. And last thing I'll add on to that Dante Jackson thing. He became a free agent in the season of 2022. Okay. We paid him a 3-year, $34 million contract, and we could have re-signed Hassan Reddick for just $4 more million a season. And it's bad decisions, man. Just stupid decisions.
I know, man. I know. We all got to live with them too. That's the worst part. We're not the ones that made them. But the thing is, I'm what I've heard a lot of, and I'm surprised. Maybe I missed some of this, but I'm surprised given everything we've had. I feel like the focus is and emphasis. Granted, the draft is coming up soon, and the emphasis has been on that. But my concerns are more with the coaching decision because I'm not saying it's bad or good. I don't know. I'm just saying, given what we've had to go through, that's been the largest concern of the team. So
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
I'm actually liking you know what I said last week. I'm still don't like Dan Morgan, but like the things he said, I can get with it if that makes sense to y'all. Canales diagnosed the team and he said he's gonna run the ball. That's the best scenario we can do right now. Just run. You know what I'm saying? Go back to the old 2000s. So he diagnosed the team. He has to, especially with the guy we got at quarterback. Y'all know how I feel towards that man.
Well, I mean, seriously, did Frank Reich not see what Steve Wilkes did for the last 12 games? Like that was the easiest.
Listen, Anthony, I don't know if I don't know if he physically could see. I mean, the man was like staring off in clouds most of the time. I don't know if he might not have been able to.
About Frank Reich. I mean, not to cut you off. Every quarterback he's done they had their best years.
Frank Reich.
I mean, I think
they were all developed.
That's where Frank Reich messed up. He was listening to Nick Saban. Oh, I got to develop an offense around.
I mean, we all had our issues and stuff like that, but his track record is pretty good. He won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Let's be real. So, I mean, you can sit there and say it was developed this and this, everything didn't go right. But I'm kind of with it. I mean, if you're going to blame it all on him, knowing this whole situation, I don't think he can do it.
I'm not blaming everything. Hold on. Frank Reich didn't call plays. Doug Peterson did. And second,
not only that, but listen, we just see Brady, and we just watched the whole Brady Belichick thing unfold. So have we not come to the conclusion that sometimes players can carry teams just as well as sometimes coaches might be able to incentivize?
But you're missing a point. Every quarterback he had their best year. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I would be agree with, okay, he's just in a good situation. Every quarterback he had their best year.
I know, but tell me what happened wrong then here. Why do you get nothing here? Why do you get 2-win season? You know?
Maybe because the quarterback we got is obsolete in the league. That's what I'm saying.
We're not going to rehash this.
I know y'all don't want to admit that. It's cool. We all got a difference. I said my opinions on that. That's why I'm saying I ain't trying to make an argument. I'm just saying his track record when it comes to QBs is pretty good till he got here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Baker Mayfield was having a solid career before he came here. So, I mean, it is what it is, man.
Let's just blame it on.
I missed the last one.
How high is everyone? I'm curious though. I really wanted to ask you guys what your thoughts are because I don't think, how high is your confidence on the not just the coach itself, but like the leadership perspective of this because that's what we were lacking last year.
I'll answer that first, if I may, Stats. In my opinion, I like the leadership. I like the coaches so far. There's different things I would do if I was coach, but I'm not. So life goes on. But that being said, I like everything involved in it. I think it's a slow process. I do not think that we will win 8 games next year. I think you're going to be really lucky. Super lucky to win 5 games. and that's because I have that much less faith in the players. I think it's going to be a slow rebuild. I think it's a mistake to go out and spend a crap load of money in free agents and a crap load of. I just think it's a mistake. Why? Why do I say that? Because of experience. Maybe I've watched the NFL too long, but it's been my experience that 90% of your free agents are bad pickups. You're a whole lot of money and you get a lot less in returns. I would just go slow and patiently. You hit a correct free agency here and there. You hit a couple good draft picks, and it's a slow process. I mean, that's my opinion. Like I said, after the 2010 season, it ain't a whole lot different than it is now. The only difference is we had the first overall pick and we got Cam Newton, but we had a lot of good players on that team. They were just older. So,
yeah. Well, all right. I think I'm about to wrap it up and wind it down, gentlemen. I appreciate everybody for being a part of the show today, man. Pickle, look, we didn't even know if we were going to do an hour. And here we are almost. Here we are.
For a while, it was me and Cody by ourselves.
Yeah, man, we were struggling for a little bit out here, but hey, man, we did it. We finished with 60 viewers. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all. I don't know what time I'm starting tomorrow. It's either going to be.
I was about to ask you that.
Yeah, it's either going to be a little before 1 or a little before 3 because I believe that the running backs are going first tomorrow. So I think it'll be the running backs, and then later in the day, I think it'll be the wide receivers and the quarterbacks. So we'll be here tomorrow, man, and we're gonna be able to. I'll be able to put it up too, so we'll be able to actually watch the combine here on the channel tonight, man. But we appreciate y'all, man. Hey, the free for all wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for y'all being able to come in here and hang out. So I appreciate y'all because of it. First up, my man Al the Sailor. Al, we appreciate you, brother. Give me your final thoughts for the free for all, man.
Nah, thanks, Cody. What time they starting the thing up tomorrow? They're starting at 1 o'clock or they're starting at 3 o'clock?
Probably 3, but I might be live at 1. It's either going to be around 1 or 3, one of those two.
Okay. Nah, man, everybody have a good night, man. Y'all be safe, man. Y'all just enjoy your Friday night, man. That's what's up. You guys be cool.
Yes,
later, guys.
Hey, happy birthday.
Al.
Peace, brother.
Yes, sir. My man, it was Big birthday. Stats, appreciate you, bro.
Whoever's birthday it was, happy birthday.
Your final thoughts for the show, man.
I wanted to bring this up, but I wanted to bring this up like I did on one other thing.
Hold on. Let's go one at a time. I don't know who was all talking.
I thought you were saying me to go.
No, it's all right. But we'll go Mr. Strats, and then we'll go Be Good.
Okay.
Strats, go ahead, bro.
Sorry, I think we said the same. I was just saying I have nothing to say. I appreciate all you guys, and that was it. And I laughed because we talked at the same time. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
No, you're all good, man. Go catch that toddler if it's running wild.
No, he's in bed.
Oh,
thank
okay,
God.
cool. Yeah, thank God. I appreciate you, man. And then my man, Big Good in the building. Happy birthday to you, bro.
Appreciate it. I actually got to be human today. Got to drink,
man.
have a regular life. Instead of
Hey,
getting like hit and punched in the face, you know what I'm saying? It feels good.
Cheers to my man, Big Good, for being able to chill and have a good ass time on his birthday. Salute to you, brother. What's your final thoughts for the show today, man?
I know y'all don't want Brian Burns, so I'll put this out there. What do y'all think if we was to sag and trade Brian Burns for T. Higgins and picked up a dude for free agency like a Calvin Ridley? So we can lay the bed saying, oh, okay, Bryce don't have any weapons. We give him T. Higgins, we give him a Calvin Ridley. Even though that's expensive, kind of build through the draft, we'll see what he can do. If he can't make it, we'll know we can get rid of him. So we don't have to have that excuse anymore.
I would love to do that because I've already seen a bunch of years of Brian Burns, and we haven't been a good team with Brian Burns. If we're, everybody says it's going to take us 2, maybe 3 years to build a contending football team. Well, hell, if that's the truth, give me the offense now. Give me a T. Higgins. Give me a Calvin Ridley. Let me see what Bryce has to offer at that quarterback position. It's imperative that we're absolutely able to evaluate him this year. Because last
That's
year,
what I'm saying.
everybody was trying to say that the supporting talent was too bad last year, and you can't blame Bryce for all the overthrows and all the misses, all the stuff that he was supposed to be good at coming out of college. You have to give him a proper evaluation because you have to know if you're going to move on or not. So I'm down for it. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Okay, so we on the same boat. So if he can't get the ball to somebody, we'll know it's him. If he can, we'll know it was the team he had. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Last
for
year.
it. I'm on
So,
your
like
team,
I
bro.
said,
I'm
it just
for it.
speed up the process, then build through the draft, and hopefully pick a little free agent lineman. You know what I'm saying? Guard or something there. That's my final thought. Just to think about.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro. And again, happy birthday, man.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Let me go to my man, Christian Hunt, joining the free for all yet again. Christian, we appreciate you, bro. Give me your final thoughts for the show.
I appreciate you all. Happy Friday, and hope everyone has a good week. I'll be joining you tomorrow if nothing else to watch. But I have three final thoughts while I can.
Sure thing.
Offensive line helps the entire offense. Don't forget that. Number two, the number of wins really don't matter unless you're a playoff team, in my opinion. I think we're in the mode to where we need to build for heart, show heart, and you know we need to be able to make people fear us again. So I would be much more happier after every Sunday if we lost, but if I felt like we actually impacted the game and you know, and it just felt like something. I want to get that back again. And the last thought, when it comes to contracts, you know, we could argue till blue in the face of like, well, we need to pay him before the market gets high, or we paid him too soon. I mean, at the end of the day, the players, you know, need to live up to the contracts that they were paid for. And you know who usually doesn't disappoint with contracts? It's fucking dogs. And like Dan Morgan said, that's what we need. Oh, I had one more thought about the coaches. I'm starting to get a little worried about Canales because I'm starting to think about the entire fucking season, and all I'm going to see is this fucking pixie dust and rainbows type of attitude. So I really hope that Dan Morgan can be the scowl that we may never see on camera, but hopefully the team can see is like, you know, maybe he'll be bad cop and Canales is good cop. That's it.
Okay. A little bit of a complimenting nature to one another. Okay, I got that.
Hopefully, man. I just kind of dreading the positivity from Canales. I need some realism.
He does seem like the dude that's like heading up like classes on spin bikes or some shit. Like he totally like his happy mentality. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I don't have any. I don't want. Sorry, that didn't mean to sound negative against him. We'll have to see. But
I got an answer for some of that. I think when it gets my turn. But go ahead. The next.
Yeah. Next up, my guy JJ, back on the pod. JJ, give me your final words for the free for all, brother.
What's up, y'all? Another Friday. Hope y'all having a great weekend coming up. What's up, Kyle? Nothing too much. You know, join us on the Mondays and Thursdays, 6:30 on X's and Spaces. You know, we appreciate anybody who comes up, drops a follow for any of us who wants to conversate. Anybody who comes up here on these shows, we appreciate y'all. Yeah, just get involved with the C3 family, man. You'd be surprised how many good, fun interactions, great moments you have just being related about Panther football you could make. So, yeah, man, it ain't nothing to wait for, man. Get up here, try and have you some fun with some Panther fans and share your opinion. Tell us who's wrong. Tell us why Pickle need to shut the hell up. Tell us why a G-Baby makes you sick. And buy you a mug on the website on C3CatChronicles.com.
CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I do got me a mug though. I'll tell you that.
Hey man, go get you some merch.
That mug
get
is
that C3 t-shirt. Get that mug. You already
I'm
know.
gonna go sell out the shop right now, Cody.
I know, man. I know it. My guy Kyle, back on the Friday free for all. My man Kyle from Charlotte, Sports 1. Always a joy to have you, brother. Give me your final thoughts for the show today, man.
Hell yeah, Cody. Thanks as always for having me. Go get you one of them shirts up there. C3 for life. It's wonderful. It's a great shirt too. Very, very high quality t-shirt material. But I will say my final thoughts, I would say maybe I hope that the offense builds as the players mesh together. You know what I mean? Like the offensive scheme and the players that they bring in and the players that they cut kind of like mesh together. So like it's not like last year where we're doing like an RPO kind of mid-range passing attack versus staying away from the run while we have running players, you know, that are better in the run game, you know. So like I'm hoping that there's like a meshing of a complementary kind of personnel. Because I mean, if we're going to roll over 34 players last year and it was a retool, what's the number this year? I mean, I think it's going to be higher than 34. So I hope that there's some kind of cohesion there. That's I think my biggest thing and my biggest takeaway. But
some collaboration, man. People being on the same page.
Payton Wilson. That's
Payton Wilson.
That's my other thing. Payton Wilson, 33. Let's go.
Not mad at that at all. By the way, shout out to my man JJ for repping the merch. Hey man, if y'all would like to get you some of that merch, bro, these are my two favorite things on the store, man. I love that merch that rep C3, man. Carolina Cat Chronicles.com. Get you a t-shirt, man. Get you a C3 Panther podcast mug.
Get you a mug.
They also make them shirts in white, don't they, Cody?
I believe we do. I haven't been to the website in a while, so you might have to check.
You did, but I am now done buying. Wait, all of it. All right, your shop is now empty. Sorry.
Oh,
hell yeah!
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. If I want one, I just steal one off Strats.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand outside the Bank of America Stadium tomorrow at 9 p.m. and I'm handing them out.
Sell them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they're free. They're free. I'm giving them out.
They're free. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm repping them.
Cause fuck them. That's why.
Yeah, because fuck them.
I already paid you guys. You made the money off it. I'm giving them out.
True that. Nah, hey man, you guys are cool. I appreciate y'all. Hey man, we got some cool merch, and I feel like not enough people know about the merch. So happy that we could bring that back up. Let me who we got left here? Let me go with my man Panther Pickle. Pickle, I appreciate you, man. We thought we were gonna be out early, and look at us.
Look at
just
us.
A couple old guys just being old on the free for all, you know.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say anything Panther related, but folks, I know in the day and age it gets stressful, but sometimes you're in a bad mood and you come here and you're in a chat, and sometimes you just snap at people and you just go off. Just calm down, take a chill pill, you'll be all right in the morning. Sometimes you watch too much news. Sometimes it ain't healthy watching news. Sometimes you get on them YouTube or them Facebook videos and you see politics and corruption and conspiracy theories, and your mind gets lost in that shit. I've done it. And pretty soon you're in a bad mood and you're hating on everybody because everybody's the bad guy according to them videos. Calm down, take a deep breath, do something else. Don't watch all that shit. It's bad for you. Yeah. And folks, shout out to C3 Nation. We're the only Panther podcast that's here every single week when we say we are. We don't take days off. We don't take time off. I mean, some of the guys will, and that's fine. But you know, Tuesday, 10 years from now, C3 is going to be here on Tuesdays.
Yes, sir.
Other podcasts can't say that Because when the downtime, when the slow times, they take months at a time off. You know, Panther. You know, C3 Panther Podcast gonna be here. Check us out Tuesdays. Me, D's, JJ. It's hard to tell what we talk about. Sometimes we'll have a podcast every single day of the week. And I ain't said it all day, so I'll say it now. If you don't like it, shut the hell up.
If you don't like it, then shut the hell up.
Okay, cool.
Huh?
I said that was a 10 out of 10. By Pickle.
Pickle killed it. He killed it as he ought to do. Last but certainly not least, my man, my brother, the brand ambassador, D's Ill Skills. Don, my man, the floor is yours, brother.
Oh, brother, I ain't messing around tonight. I'm gonna get us straight up out of here. I ain't got a big long speech about the Panthers. I'm ready to get into this content and this draft combine tomorrow. Look for the C3 Panthers podcast to go live somewhere between 1 and 3 p.m. tomorrow. 3 p.m. if we're waiting on Panther Pickle earlier. If not, we'll just see who's ready to rock and roll. Look for that C3 Nation chat. And hit me up on Twitter if you want to get in it. And we're looking for some more members for that C3 Nation chat. We want some people that are active and want to talk about these sorry-ass Panthers. Just like Panther Pickle was talking about yesterday on the Spaces, don't waste your money sending your money to Nike, your hard-earned money that you work for each and every day. Don't send your money to these sorry-ass Carolina Panthers. They're 2-15. Ain't nobody cheering for them except for us. We love the Carolina Panthers. We'll cheer for them even if they suck. And the C3 Panthers podcast will be here for them, just like Panther Pickle said. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., every Friday at 7 p.m. We're here and we keep pounding. You go to CarolinaCatChronicles.com, get yourself a Shut the Hell Up t-shirt, or You Make Me Fucking Sick by our friend G Baby. Support local podcasts. The national media is dying, and local podcast is where all the news is at. And you can tune in and get all that news right here on the C3 Panthers podcast. Keep pounding, C3.
Keep pounding, baby.